InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And welcome, race fans. What a special day today. Happy Easter to everybody out there. Easter weekend. We are here at Michigan International Speedway for a very special presentation of the Inside Sim Racing March on Michigan 300. 150 laps here in the Silverado trucks. I'll tell you what, this is going to be an afternoon of some fun racing here. Covering the top split, Dakota and I up here in the booth. Kyle Young, he's downstairs in another booth. He's covering the second split with the LSR TV, our affiliate, and looking for some good racing action there. Michigan International Speedway, Dakota, Brooklyn, Michigan, 85,000 fans on hand today. And, of course, track owned by International Speedway Corp. Broke ground in 1967, opened up in 1968. Charles Moneypenny put this track together. It's an asphalt track, 2 miles in length, 4 turns. Bankings in the turn about 18 degrees, front stretch about 12 degrees, back stretch about 5 degrees, so no matter where you're at, there's a little bit of a drainage thing going on here at Michigan. But Dakota, I'll tell you what, a lot of drivers, I heard over 700 drivers qualified in for this special race here at Michigan today.
Yeah, we'll see the top 43 here in the first split and the next 43 in the second split. But the Michigan International Speedway can be a lot like a super speedway. Where we were at last night at Talladega Super Speedway with the Super Speedway Cup Series, and I think we marched on up here to Michigan for the March on Michigan 300. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and definitely gonna be interesting with these guys being stuck in kind of like a draft log throughout the whole race here.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, we're absolutely really enthused about this race here today. Joining us in the booth from Inside Sim Racing TV, Darren Ganji, who qualified to run in today's race. Darren, I understand we've got quite a prize list put together for today's event.
Yeah, we do. I'd like to thank our spot. First of all, thanks for having me here, and you guys, thanks to you guys for putting on this kick-ass broadcast for us. Yeah, we got some great sponsors. We have iRacing on board with 3 $50 gift certificates. Thrustmaster is going to give away a TH8 RS shifter. Tamiya USA is going to give away 2 models. We've got IGP Manager on board. They're going to give away 2 full-year licenses. Sim Experience is going to give away 2 SimVibe licenses. And Basher Boards has their FL2 G25, G27 shifter adapter that they're giving away. So some great prizes. I'd like to thank those sponsors. And thanks to everybody for signing up. Like you said, over 700 people just in See-Through Pro, plus about another 100 in Rookie and D. So going to be a heck of a day of racing.
I'll tell you what, it sounds like it. You know, the prizes, I think they're, reading my notes here, they're going to be distributed randomly amongst the drivers who finish the race in their split without incident. And then, of course, drivers must complete at least 149 of 150 laps here to be eligible. And this will all happen on an episode of Inside Sim Racing after the event. Is that correct, Darren?
Yep, that is exactly right. So, yeah, top, it's going to be, yeah, like you said, got to finish 149 of 150 laps, incident-free. And you know, a lot of guys didn't think it was going to happen at a rock race, and there was about 17 guys that were eligible for prizes. So, I'm sure there's going to be lots today. Tough. It's going to be a tough race. You know, this truck's a little loose, so got a feeling we're going to see a few cautions here and there, but hopefully it should be some good racing overall.
Absolutely, and I understand you qualified into one of the splits here. Which one are you in tonight?
You know, I'm not sure. Originally, it should have been about the 3rd split, but it looks like iRacing has us sorted by iRating now. So I ran a 142 or a 41.286, which had me about 113th. But so I think I should be in about the 3rd or 4th split. It looks like.
All right, I'll tell you what, Darren, thanks for joining us up here in the booth. We're going to go ahead and cut you loose. We know you got to get some seat time in before this thing kicks off here in about 3 minutes. Good luck to you, my friend.
Thank you, and have a great show, you guys.
All right, Darren Ganji from Inside Sim Racing TV. Now, I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen an episode of Inside Sim Racing TV, I don't have my plug sheet in front of me yet, Dakota, but I'll tell you what, it is the yellow pages of everything you ever wanted to know about simulation racing. including reviews on some of the top quality products, for simulation racing, steering wheels, pedals, racing rigs, the whole 9 yards. So Inside Sim Racing TV sponsoring tonight's event, March on Michigan 300 here, as we continue to watch these guys turn some laps here at Michigan for practice.
Definitely. Inside Sim Racing has it all. I do happen to have the plug in front of me. How about sponsoring the Thursday Night Real Sim Racing Series? Inside Sim Racing, your first and best choice for all news and reviews in online motorsports. Join Darren Ganji and Sean Cole for the latest and greatest in product reviews, simulation, auto racing, games for PCs and the Xbox crowd, from steering wheels to full-size racing rigs, updates on popular racing games, and a whole lot more. The yellow pages of online auto racing. Inside Sim Racing has it all. Visit them today at www.isrtv.com. And now we go trackside for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And we are back. Big thank you to the Cactus Cuties. Let's go down trackside for that awesome command.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
All right, starting on the pole tonight, Jason Carvillage in that number 4 machine. Outside him in row 1, Chad Lawton. He'll be in that number 3 car.
Making up row number 2 with the 12 car of Thomas Davis and the 5 of Dustin Montgomery.
And in row number 3, on the 11 car on the inside, Richard Doucette. Tyler Hudson, he'll be on the outside in that number 1 car.
Row number 4, it will consist of Kyle Wickett and Eugene Mazganoff.
And in row number 5, in the number 6, Marcus Lindsay. To the outside, Tom Moustakis in the 13 machine.
Making up row number 6, Alex Warren and Jeff Ramsdell.
And in row number 7, Tony Rapusard and Colin Keister.
How about row number 8 here, EJ O'Rourke and Matthew Largan?
All right, and in row number 9, Matthew Wright in the number 20 machine and the 43 on the outside, and Adriano, we're just going to call him by his first name.
Row number 10 will be Marco Pintanen and Alan Cryer.
Byron Daly in row 11 in the number 2 machine, and the 7 car, Adam Gilliand.
Row number 12, Paul Klein and David Comstock.
In row number 13, Michael Abrams and Jason Patterson.
Row number 14, Mark Melcher and Nick Nebben.
Shane Doherty, Scott Smiley, Benjamin Truffenler, Dalton Baldwin, Norbert Sulzer, Andre Boschetter, Michael Hunt, Jeremy Nyland, Brandon Turberko, Randy Hedrick, Justin Brown, Tim Blum, Shelvin Johnson, Larry Reed, and Gary Hooks made up the rest of the field as we get set to go green flag racing here at Michigan International Speedway for 150 laps, Dakota. I'll tell you what, this is going to be an exciting afternoon.
Definitely. Green flag is out. Coming to the green flag is Jason Carvillage leading the way. And he'll lead him off. He's going to be side by side already with the guy who started on the outside, Chad Lawton, heading into turn number 1, JD.
All right, and I'll tell you what, we do have some notoriety drivers here tonight. And I'll tell you what, up in the front row here, Jason Carvillage, Chad Lawton, there's a couple of them right there. But don't count out guys like Richard Doucette, Tyler D. Hudson. I've seen these guys race before as we go down the backstretch. Going to close in on lap number 1 here at Michigan. This is the March on Michigan 300, sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV. And I'll tell you what, Jason Carvillage ducking down to the inside from the outside lane here. He's going to take that number 1 position coming across the line. Score 1 for Jason Carvillage.
How about the number 5, Dustin Montgomery? That 5 car started in 4th position, currently in 4th, but he's looking underneath for 3rd. He's trying to get around the number 3 car of Chad Lawton, who started on the outside of the front row. Chad going back, he kind of got a little sideways there or something. He'll lose a spot, and a lot of time is now the 1 car looks underneath him. That's Tyler Hudson, who started in the 1st position, or 6th position.
You know, I was watching back here in 7th position, Eugene Mozgov in that number 9 machine up here. Thought he might have been bump drafting here a little bit with the car in front of him. That's going to be the number 1 car in 5th position here. That's going to be Tyler D. Hudson. But let's talk about the bump draft here at Michigan. I mean, there's places to do it and places you don't want to do it. But draft is a big thing here at Michigan Speedway, Dakota.
I think you want to do it everywhere you can. You don't want to do it in the corners unless you're wanting to really move the guy in front of you out of the way, but there is a danger to that because you could move him in the wrong spot, then that wrong spot could be around in front of you, and you've got no place to go at that point.
You bet. Pretty much single file all the way back to 7th position here. The 11 car, Richard Doucette on the bottom. He's got the 13 of Thomas Stockus up on the outside. Let's talk about the different racing groups here at Michigan. This is a huge track, very wide all the way around. So, you know, you can use the top or the bottom. I believe the preferred line here coming down the front stretch is probably going to be the bottom next to that apron line, Dakota.
Yeah, well, what you're going to do is you'll see these guys running high throughout the backstretch. They're wanting to run about a lane up off the bottom to 1 and 2. They kind of arc the corner, take a wide entry to the corner. When it comes to 1 and 2, though, you want to. I want to say you want to enter high, but throughout the straightaway, you want to be as low as possible to gain as much time, use the shorter way around. I don't know, it's kind of different than what we do at most tracks, what you see a lot at most tracks, but it does seem to be faster down there, and you'll see these guys, because it's kind of arced, cut through the tri-oval, they'll go all the way down the apron, they'll get the grass a little bit, but they're all right. That's the way they do it here, and they'll come back up into 1 and 2, go really high, and try to arc that corner like they normally do, and it really carries more speed that way.
You've got 3 wide up here on the front stretch and 13th position, 2 car on the bottom. That's going to be Byron Daly taking the 3 wide with the 10 in the middle. Alex Warren, the 34 car up on top. That's Jeff Ramsdell. And I'll tell you what, 3 wide, entirely possible here all the way around this track here at Michigan. Like we said, it's a very wide track. Oh, 4 wide. 4 wide as well, Dakota, in some places around this track. And I'll tell you what, with 5 laps in the book, we got 150 on the board here tonight. So, I don't know, these guys getting set to get the last 10 laps in early or what?
I would say so here. Working lap 6 now of 150.
You know, it's all about competition, and some of these guys are pretty fierce competitors. We've seen a lot of these guys before. I mean, you got the likes of Jason Carvillage here, Tyler D. Hudson, Chad Lawton in the house, Richard Doucette. I mean, all these guys, top competitors here. E.J. O'Rourke in that number 16 machine, all the way back here in 18th position. E.J. O'Rourke, a big fan of ETV Live. It's good to see him out here on the track tonight. And then Matthew Largan, who was with ETV Live in the early days, did some broadcasting for us, back here in 20th position, that 14 truck. Good to see him out here participating as well.
And do note, if you want to scroll down a little ways, below the broadcast, there's a chat room. Doesn't actually require a password. You can talk to myself, JD Webb, any of us, and we answer your questions and let you know what's up.
You bet. And it looks like there may be some issues with the Looking back here in 43rd position, guys, the 17 car, Paul Klein, he's way off the pace, 21 seconds, almost 22 seconds off the pace. Looks like he may be having some electrical issues with that machine, but Paul Klein already way off the pace here with 7 laps in the books.
Paul Klein, I do remember going through the starting lineup, and when I looked at Paul Klein, he was starting from pit road, so I think they had a lot of problems getting the car started for the race. So he started at the rear of the field, maybe expecting a wreck. And so he's now put himself in a bad position because there wasn't a wreck yet, and he's 21 seconds out. He has no draft, so he's losing a lot of time and very quickly.
You bet. And I tell you what, let's take it all the way around full circle here, back up to the front. The 1 car of Tyler Hudson up here with the 5 on the bottom. That's Dustin Montgomery battling for position here, guys. And I'll tell you what, Tyler Hudson making that top line work up here as they come across the start-finish line. It's going to be Jason Carvillage on the bottom there. But I'll tell you what, 3 wide on the bottom already. It's the 9 car and a 5 car, but it looks like Tyler Hudson backing off here a little bit. Maybe that top line just isn't working to his satisfaction as they go motoring on by. But I'll tell you, 9 laps in books here at Michigan. We got a long ways to go here, Dakota. And I'll tell you, some awesome racing taking place right now.
No! How about Tyler Hudson? He was almost looking outside, way outside. He's going to be using about 3 lanes up off the bottom, but he had I don't know why he was doing that. He's trying to maybe keep up the 5 here of Montgomery, but Hudson, he's up on the outside. He's kind of stuck up there.
You bet, 2 by 2 from the front to the back here, guys. And I'll tell you, all the way back, actually I'm cycling through the field here, back to about Kyle Wickett back here in 20th position. So I'll tell you, with only 10 laps in the books, these guys are really putting on quite a show here at Michigan Speedway. This is the March on Michigan 300, sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV. And once again, big thank you to Darren Ganji for inviting ETV Live and ETV Live LSR TV to come in and broadcast this series. Of course, the LSR TV broadcasting the 2nd split. That's going to be Laura Lawson. And we apologize, we don't have broadcasters set up for that particular race just yet, but we're working on getting some live coverage. But you can certainly see it on the links provided by ETV Live. Go to the webpage, click on the link at the top of the page up there. 2nd split action being covered by ETV Live LSR TV.
How about 2 wide most of the way through the field here? But I've been watching this front battle here. It looks like the 3 has now taken the lead to Chad Lawton. How about the 12, though, of, I want to say it's Thomas Davies. He's hanging in there really, really strong. As he now gets shuffled to the outside, he was up to 2nd position, so the 12 car maybe put in a bad spot here. As the 4 goes underneath him, that's Jason Carvillage, so that'll probably put the driver of the number 4 machine up 1 spot as he works through 1 and 2. So he still put the arc in the corner, still kind of entered a little high, but he's all right. Going to carry a lot of momentum off. He's probably going to come up and cut off the 12 almost. Oh, it was a 12 Wiggins. He saves it. A little sideways, but he's all right. So now the 9 goes all the way to the bottom, 3 wide. That is the 9 of Eugene Mozganoff as he's going to jump back in line.
Yeah, I think he saw what was happening up there with the 12 and decided to take some evasive action. Just down there below the line, stays out of trouble, gets it back in the saddle again. I'll tell you what, that number 9 machine doing a good job handling that truck here at Michigan. But you know what, Adam Gillian back here in 8th position in that number 7 machine, kind of looking at all that happen out there in front of him. And, you know, I bet he's thankful that that 9 machine was able to keep that thing under control. But the rest of the field here, guys, 3 wide back here, about 8th position. The 6 truck here of Marcus Lindsay almost making contact with, looked like Mitchell Hunt back here. But I'll tell you what, these guys are getting really dicey early in the game here, Dakota.
Extremely. I think that's Michigan International Speedway. That's how you've got to be. You've got to be on the edge of your seat, really. You've got to be making moves, or else you'll go to the back. Big time.
All right, and just checking in with the 2nd split, we understand that they just had their first caution here at Michigan Speedway. So we'll keep everybody advised of what's going on over there. In the meantime, here at the main split, this is the top notch up here, Cowboy. Matthew Largan in 17th position, number 14 machine, side by side with the 34 car. Matthew looking to gain another position here, but Dakota, I understand that's pretty hard to do here. There may be only 1 racing group here, and that's usually occupied by everybody on the bottom line.
Yeah, definitely. I think these cars that, when they get on the outside, they can make momentum, but they've got to drive the truck really hard. They've got to pinch these guys down. They have to make the inside lane overdrive. Is really what these guys on the outside have to do. You've got to get them to maybe driving the corner too hard or miss the line, and that'll slow them down enough for you to take advantage of that on the outside. But I mean, other than that, there's only one real fast groove, it seems like, at Michigan, and that can make things tough, especially when you've got crossovers, the way the draft works here. These cars are just going to be all over the place. One car can be up front and then be probably about 15th the next lap. It's an extremely interesting track, to say the least, here.
Byron Daly in 8th position here. He's in a number 2 machine. He's got the number 7 of Adam Gillian up on the outside. They're almost making contact about a half a lap ago, and those two have been racing side by side here for 2 or 3 laps. But, nothing uncommon here at Michigan Speedway. Big old wide track, plenty of room on this freeway. Tyler D. Hudson up here in 9th position. He's fallen back here a couple of notches, but I'm sure he's got his strategy in place. 16 laps in the books here at Michigan In-N-Out Speedway. We're going to go ahead and step away, take a commercial break. The first one, you're watching live, ATV Live, cowboy, so don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Landon Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over to Wayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it to the wall. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in second. We got one car on the bottom of the 10 cars.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And we are back live here at Michigan Speedway under caution, guys, and pulling it back up on the replay. Not quite sure what happened. 21 car involved, the 8 car involved. Something's happening with the 21 machine. Gets a little bit sideways, but then the 8 gets involved here and goes for an E-ticket ride. Dakota?
Yeah, looks like the 21 just coming off of turn number 2, lap 18, 9th position. Man, I want to say he just got sideways. That's Mitchell Hunt. Yeah, he just gets sideways, comes down into the 8, and sends the 8 on for a ride.
Yeah, rolling it back here just a little bit further here, and you're absolutely right. Looking at the number 6 machine, 21 truck right dead ahead up here. 21 comes off the turn just a little bit sideways, gets loose right into the side of the 8 machine, spins him around, and of course all hell breaks loose after that. The 8 car going for an E-ticket ride here at Michigan Speedway.
Jason Karvelich will still lead as caution is out, working lap 19, or was working lap 19, currently on 19, as everybody's coming down pit road here.
You bet. I'm sure 19 laps in the books here at Michigan. Pit road's going to be awfully busy as they all file down. And I believe it's a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit down here on pit road. So, and it's a long ways to that front box up there by the end of pit road up there. But a lot of these guys, I'm seeing 4 tire changes here and a bucket full of gas, and get back out there on the track. Watching you guys, looks like 4 tire changes for most of them. And Jason Carvelich, he's going to beat everybody off pit road here, occupying that number 1 position.
Yeah, and Dustin Montgomery looked like he was going to come off second. He might have came off third here. After going through second, I do believe Thomas Davies came off second. Richard Doucette, I believe, in fourth, and Chad Lawton fifth. And looks like Chad and Richard switching spots there under the stops. Tyler Hudson going to be sixth off. Eugene Mazganoff, next car in line, and I believe it's Byron Daly, Adam Gilliland, and Alex Warren.
All right, Jason Carvillage getting the job done there on pit road. Awfully quick pit stop for him. But I'll tell you what, looked like 4 tire changes for just about everybody here at Michigan. You know what, back in my day, of course this was back in a Cup car, you used to try to do the 2 tire changes, but even with about 10 or 12 laps on your car, you know, 2 tires just would not cut it here at Michigan. I don't know, maybe you've got some more information on that here in the trucks, Dakota.
Well, I think talking to a lot of drivers here, 4 tires is going to be the way to go. I think 2 tires is going to be, maybe if we see these guys towards the end of the race need to come down for tires, because if they don't get any tires, they're going to be extremely, extremely slow. If they come down, they're going to need at least 2. And if they do take 2 tires, I think we'll see maybe half a tank of fuel, quarter tank of fuel in the truck, and that will be in the closing laps. You can't quite do that right now. It's going to affect the handling way too much. I could either loosen it up or tighten it up, one of the two, but it'll be interesting, and I don't think we'll see much of it here in the early laps.
You know, and I'm a huge Mark Martin fan, Dakota, and you know, for me, when I come down pit road, it's going to be 4 new shoes and a bucket of oats every time, and you know, that's just the way Mark Martin operates, and that's the way I always did it too. But 4 new shoes always better than 2. But getting set to get green here again. Pace car, the lights are off on the pace car. Jason Carvillage, Chad Lawton, Thomas Davis, Dustin Montgomery, Richard Doucette, your top 5 up here. Of course, those guys have been pretty much occupying that space for the most part since we started this thing here 21 laps ago. But I'll tell you, Tyler Hudson, he's not messing around either in that number 1 machine. He's in 7th position, being shown in 7th position right now. Actually, I believe he's going to restart 6th. But Kyle Wicca, Eugene Mozgunov, and we do apologize if we do some mispronunciations here, but Marcus Lindsay, Tom Moustakis, and Alex Warren back here occupying from 6th through 11th here. So pace car getting ready to pull off here, get back to green flag racing here. Some exciting times. This is the March on Michigan 300, sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV, Dakota.
Here we go. Pace car dives. We'll watch Jason Carvillage and the 4 machine lead him to the green flag. And the flag man has dropped the green flag. There goes the 4 of Jason Carvillage. We're side by side still as he shoots the car to turn number 1 or towards turn number 1.
Yeah, and you know, as big this track is, it takes a little bit for these guys to get up to full speed. As we just go right into 3 wide, right from the get-go here, trying to get caught up here. I think Adam Gilliam might have been a part of that. Oh, and he gets tagged. The 7 gets tagged by the number 1 machine of Tyler Hudson. You're going to have to roll that one back here a little bit and take another look. But I tell you, these guys were getting 3 wide right from the get-go, going into turn 1, ahead of Tyler Hudson. Richard Doucette up there in the middle as well. But try to roll this thing backwards here and see what happened.
Looks like Hudson was just coming with a huge run. Looks like he wanted to get to the outside. The 7 slipped up a little bit. That was the 7 of Adam Gilliland. And it might have been a little bit of netcode, but that turned the 7 down into the 9 of Eugene Mazganoff, who had thrown it 3 wide going into turn number 1. And he had lost a lot of track position or a lot of grip there and just barely made contact, and that would spin the 7 around. I think it was a little bit of netcode when he hit the 9 as well.
Yeah, I saw a couple of them get out of shape coming off the turn, and most definitely that number 7 was the worst of them all. But you know, we did mention you know, from the start of the race. I think Darren mentioned it too, Dakota. You know, at the start that these things are a little bit loose here at Michigan tonight. So you know, we may expect to see that happening more often than not here tonight.
Yeah, the one place that is the loosest is probably as loose as it could be is if you get down on the very bottom lane, all the way around the racetrack, you'll see that these guys are laying up off the bottom, getting down there where the 9 was, through turns 1 and 2 with a very dangerous spot. You'll see a lot of slideways there, there's just no grip, it seems like.
Yeah, and you know, back in my day, of course, back then it was called the Craftsman trucks, and they drove like a dump truck. I mean, no matter what track you were at. But as I understand it, they're a little bit different today with these Silverado trucks in iRacing. But I'll tell you what, the working caution number 2 here at Michigan Speedway, that'll certainly bring Adam Gillian down pit road to get repairs on that number 7 machine. Let's see if we can get an update from Kyle Young. He's covering the second split. Kyle.
Good afternoon, JD, and yes, here in second split we just got a restart off of what I believe was our second yellow. I had some problems real quick. I had to reboot my system. But right now up in front we have Marty Sponsler leading the second split race on lap 21. It was a scary restart right there. He had a connection problem and was worked out just before the field went green, but everybody was able to keep it straight and going forward. The top 5 right now as they're coming off of turn 4 to complete lap 21 is Marty Sponsler, Christopher Munger, Alexei Aloma, Jeremy Budaloop, and Vincent Davis. The top 5 so far in split number 2.
Awesome. All right, Kyle Young, thanks a million. Covering the second split action over there at Michigan Speedway. And I'll tell you what, you know, if you're tuning in, you're watching the top split action here, you want to flip the channels, go back and forth, the link's right there on the webpage, so have at it, cowboy. Tell you what, let's go ahead and take another commercial break. You're watching live, ETV Live. There is no other choice. Don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com. All right, and we are back live. Apologize for a little bit of audio difficulty there, but I'll tell you what, we are back live here at Michigan Speedway, back under green flag here. Jason Carlers, Justin Montgomery, Chad Lawton out in front here. Thomas Davis in that number 12 machine. Bad news for Adam Gillian, Dakota. He's been forced behind the wall. Going to call it a night here at Michigan.
It's rather unfortunate for Adam Gillian there, DAVC driver. Up front, though, it's Jason Carvelich leading the way, but behind him, Thomas Davis and the 12 car and the 5 of Dustin Montgomery side by side for second position. Looks at the 5 of Dustin Montgomery losing a lot of time here. He's on the outside. That number 5 car as he's trying to go through the tri-wheel. He's just losing too much time. You'll see the 12 of Thomas Davis basically cleared that 5 car heading into turn number 1. But there goes the 3 look at the inside. That's where he overdrove the corner. I think he's going to lose a lot of time here. As the 12 gets sideways. Never mind. Thomas Davis, a lot of sideways there. He's going to lose a lot of time. But he's got to gather back up. It's now the 5 of Dustin Montgomery moves down behind the 3 car of Chad Lawton.
Yeah, let's take it all the way back here to 11th position, guys. The 23 car, Brandon Chaburko. Now, he started tonight in 37th position. He's just one shy of a top 10 right now with 27 laps in the books. And we saw Brandon Chaburko, I believe, took the trophy home last night from Talladega Speedway.
Yeah, Brandon Chaburko actually won the Super Speedway Cup Series All-Star race. How about that driver, currently sitting in 10th position? But how about where he started, JD? He started all the way back in 37th position, so that's a lot of spots to climb.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, let's go take it back even a little bit more. David Konsbach, 20th position back here, 24 truck, up here on the top, the Monster Energy machine here, riding that top line up here as the 13 Tom Moustakis comes motoring by. He's in 22nd position, that 13 machine. But, you know, I don't see anybody taking, taking advantage of that upper lane up there. I got to go back to the days when I used to race here at this track. Of course, that was back in the Cup car. And that upper lane next to the wall used to get a pretty good draft coming off. But don't see anybody doing that here tonight in the trucks. Of course, I don't know if these things still drive like dump trucks or not.
Well, I think you'll see a lot of speed. You can get a lot of speed to the straightaways if you're up next to that wall, but you're losing so much time in the corners that it's just you don't make up enough time for it to really be useful. There's not enough gain to the straightaways, and that's why you want to take the shortest way around with the car gripping really here, because I mean, if you just get out of that groove, it's not going to grip. Something's going to go wrong mechanically. Something will not be right, and you will lose time.
And up here in 25th position, Randy Hedrick and the 15 machine of Nick Nebben duking it out there. It's going to be 24th and 25th position here. It's going to be up on the outside, the 15 machine of Nebben here, trying to make that top line work up here. But a little bit of damage to the right rear of that truck. You see that spoiler is bent just a little bit on the right side. So we don't know if that's having any kind of an effect on that machine or not. It's important that that spoiler stays stuck up in the air and no damage to it. But don't know if Nebben's having any kind of handling difficulties. Not as we go 3 wide with Alex Warren on the bottom, right down there on the apron line, trying to go after the 25 machine. Warren back here in 26th position at 10 machine, can't get the job done as the 15 of Nick Heaven and Randy Hedrick in that 25 machine keep duking it out here down the backstretch.
You see now Nick Nebben throwing it down once again. He's going to be running right on that little seam there. As he's going to move up a little bit. He's trying to carry. Oh, his car above him wiggles. It's a little sideways there. That's Jeremy Nyland, I believe, in the 20. Or no, that's not. That's Nick Nebben was on the outside and Randy Hedrick on the inside. Oh, so we're about 3 wide back there now.
Oh, 3 wide back here with Alex Warren up here on the top of that 10 machine as they go motoring by. But I'll tell you what, it ain't over yet, Cowboy. Justin Brown, 28th position in that 26 car on the bottom here, making it work with the 15 car of Nick Nebben up on the outside. So these guys are getting pretty racy back here, about 25th position or so, back to the back. 2 wide here back to Andre Bochetter in 30th position, that 41 machine. But I'll tell you what, moving up forward from about 22nd position up, it's singles file up until you get to the 36th machine. Marco Pennington, he's running in 17th position here, been occupying that top line up here for quite some time. I think he's just running laps, waiting until they all wind down so he can put something together for the end.
We were 3 wide again. The 15. That is the 15 of Nick Nebben going backwards on the outside again. He's going backwards in a hurry. The number 15 car, 28th position. He was 3 wide for quite a while. Definitely could not get the outside groove to work, like I said, JD. And now the 10 is going to be stuck on the outside in front of him. That was the 10, Alex Warren. As it looks like we might have a 3 wide situation again. Not quite. Looks like Nebben's just going to fall in line here.
Yeah, just a little bit ago, Byron Daly having issues coming off of turn 1 here. This is going to be back on lap 33, but it was Marco Pennington here in that 36 machine. Comes off the wall, and unfortunately for Byron Daly, tags the front right quarter panel right near the bumper up there. Almost sends that 2 machine down to the apron, but Byron Daly doing an outstanding job hanging on to that machine. Up in front of them, though, Mark Melcher up here in 15th position, the 42 car up here. He's got a gaggle of cars. Of course, old Cowboy JD, he likes to call them a herd of cars up here. The 34 machine in 14th position, going too wide with the 28 up on the top. And I'll tell you what, these guys are getting really racy back here. About 15th, actually about 15th position on.
And just a heads up, split number 2, it is being broadcasted by LSR TV, has officially got Kyle Young and Adam Gilliland up at the broadcast booth, JD.
All right, Adam Gilliland, I tell you what, tough night for Adam, and you know, it's too bad he had to put the car behind the hauler, but Adam does frequently sit in the booth here and call races here on ETV Live, and we're glad to have him along.
Definitely here is up front. How about Jason Carville still leading the way? He's got Chad Lawton pushing him down the straightaway. Is behind him. The 5 and the 9 go at it side by side. That's Dustin Montgomery and Eugene Mozganoff. Is Eugene now on the inside, almost clear. The 5 is going to, they're going to make contact. They're going to be all right though. Looks like they'll keep it straight. And the 9 will go give a lot of room now, all the way on the inside. I see some words coming. Not sure exactly what they're saying on the radio, but I did hear a little something there.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, never fails at a place like this. You know, things happen. I would have said another word, but stuff happens here. And of course these guys, I mean, we got some outstanding competitors here tonight with the top split action here at Michigan. The March on Michigan 300 here, sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV. But I'll tell you what, Mark Melcher back here, 18th position, that 42 truck, tagging the wall, taking a couple of souvenirs with him. He's going to go backwards here, about 4 or 5 positions before he can get it back in the saddle again here. But the guys up in front of him, David Comstock, 23rd position, 24 car up here in that Monster Energy. Now it's pretty much single file all the way forward to 39, kind of jumping up on the top line here. But looks like these guys are now trying to use the top line, maybe the middle line up here in front of them. 36 laps in the books here at Michigan.
Yeah, the top of the middle can occasionally be the way to go. Rarely, but how about up front? Jason Carvillage up front was the leader. He's now got a lot of company from the 3. Chad Lawton. Chad is going to carry a lot of momentum on the inside. Looks like Chad Lawton will clear the 4 of Jason Carvillage, and now we'll have a new leader, the 3. And not quite, because here comes the 4 back on the outside. Chad Lawton was the leader, has claimed this lead as he now throws it back into the inside lane going into turn number 3 and 4. And he will definitely, by a long shot, clear the 4 cars. Now Dustin Montgomery and Jason Karlovich go at it 2 by 2.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, Jason Karlovich started on the pole here tonight. And I'll tell you what, he was making that car or truck really wide there, coming down that front stretch. Don't know if that was a blocking move or what, but I tell you what, Chad Lawton, Dustin Montgomery, Jason Carvillage, all these guys up here in front, they're putting on quite a show for sure. But it is single file all the way back to about 12th position back here. Eugene Mozgunov in the number 9 machine. And then he gives up a position, looks like, to the 38 machine of Dalton Baldwin. But getting pretty much single file. I think the only ones you can see on the top line, Dakota, are maybe the ones a little bit slower, had some damage, handling difficulties from the couple of cautions that we've had here at Michigan already.
Yeah, what? I don't know what's happening to Eugene Mozganoff. He's now going backwards again. He makes contact nearly with a few of the cars, but Eugene was up racing for the top 5. He was in the top 5 just a few laps ago. He's now all the way back to 13th, falling back quickly on the outside lane. Only 40 laps into this event, Eugene Mozganoff could be in trouble after making contact up front.
You bet. As Tom Listakis gets past him as well, and he's given up, like you say, position after position here. Tom Listakis back here in 13th position, and I believe Brandon Chaburko also went by Eugene in that number 9 machine. But tell you what, still on track, still looking good. 41 laps in the books. Why don't we go ahead and step away? Let's take a commercial break. You're watching a live, ETV Live. It's the only choice, Cowboys, so don't wander off. We'll be right back.
It's
If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products, reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com, and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy. We are back live here at Michigan Speedway. This is top split action here, the March on Michigan, sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV. And Dakota, you know, the prize list is quite impressive. Thrustmaster TH8 shifter. This thing enables 2 driving styles and is interchangeable. The H pattern, of course, you see that commonly used in the kind of racing we're watching here today at Michigan. And then sequential, usually used on the road course, open wheel type stuff, USB connection, and it's fully adjustable. Three $50 certificates and iRacing credits being given away here as well. And if you haven't been to the website, Tamiya Models, it's at TamiyaUSA.com. You got to check these models out. They've also got some radio-controlled machines over there too. But these are precision-made models that are really awesome, and they've got military aircraft, ground support vehicles, conventional cars, race cars, you name it. They got it. But that's just a short list of what's available today after the race. And of course, prizes are going to be selected randomly on an episode, on the next episode following this race here tonight by Inside Sim Racing TV. Of course, it does come with restrictions, Dakota. You've got to finish the race with no incident, plus you got to finish 149 of 150 laps.
Yeah, and that's easier said than done here at a place like Michigan International Speedway, where it's nearly a draft block here. It's almost like a Super Speedway. When we talk Super Speedways, we have to talk Super Speedway Cup. I believe we have 3 drivers in here. Brandon Chaburko, I think we saw, who was it, Jason Patterson, Greg Hooks. We have a few guys in here from Super Speedway Cup. That's kind of a unique thing here to see them here performing, and rather well, actually, is to see Brandon Chaburko in 16th. One of the first I see on that list. Jason Patterson in 15th.
You bet. And right here, looking in 25th position, 22 truck. I don't know, John can roll this one backwards here a little bit. But 22 truck looks like he gets a bump draft gone bad here and gets sent to the apron. I believe that's a 25 machine. Randy Hendrick tags the back bumper of that vehicle and send him right on down to the apron. But good car control, able to hang on to it. No caution, Cowboy. But did an outstanding job hanging on to that machine.
Definitely. Sounds like we got a field full of drivers here. It's looking up front. Jason Karlovich was in the 3rd position last time by. He'll be scored in the 4th position this time by, as he loses a spot to the 19, Tony Repisard. 19 kind of went around him in a hurry. Now he comes back underneath the 19, so too wide for 3rd position as the 19 kind of backs out of it rather early. Will make a decent run to the corner, but not enough to hold off the driver's number 4 machine. That's Jason Karlovich.
You bet. And let's take it back to about 24th position back here. Let's go to Alex Warren. He's sitting in a number 10 machine back here. He's about 4 seconds off of the 36 machine of Marco Pentinen up there. But to Alex Warren and then Randy Hendrick in behind him in 25th position. All the way back here, there's about, looks like about 8 or 9 guys here. Nick Nebben, Jeremy Nealand, Colin Kester back here in the 8 machine. These guys are all about 9 seconds, 10 seconds off the pace of the leaders up here. So don't know if these guys are just kind of minding their own business, Dakota, working some strategy here, wait until the thing starts to wind down. 50 laps in the books here at Michigan, 100 laps to go.
It is highly possible Michigan known for fuel mileage races.
Yeah, this can turn out to be a fuel mileage type race. I've seen it happen here more and more and more often, and of course been involved in a couple of those myself. I mean, I remember coming off a corner, turn 4, and then just killing the motor, letting it ride down to the bottom of the hill there, and try to cruise that apron line, and then fire it up about halfway down the front stretch to save fuel. But it may play out to be a fuel mileage race here tonight. You never know. With 50 laps in the books here, we got 100 laps to go here yet, so don't know that we're looking at any kind of fuel strategy game playing yet, but you never know what happens.
Incoming news, 15th place car, Brendan Chaburko driving the 23 machine, toe knock that we're hearing from the crew. JD, that can be something you don't want at a place like Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan, California, of course, both the big super speedway plate tracks, because those are kind of an animal all by themselves. But you get to places like Michigan, California, even Chicago can be a pretty fast track, especially down that front stretch going into turn 1. And then the radius of the turn there, Chicago, you really got to pay attention to what you're doing, because the outside wall off of turn 2 at Chicago, that comes up really, really fast. Kind of the same thing here at Michigan. It's been my experience. You come off turn 1, go through turn 2, and if you're not real careful, if you have your foot buried in the throttle a little bit too soon, I'll tell you, man, that outside wall comes up and tags your butt, and you wind up with a couple of souvenirs in the seat next to you. So a lot of attention to detail at these big tracks when you're doing 180, 190 miles an hour.
Jeff Ramsdell, I believe, went back a spot or two, but made one back up. He's in 10th position. He just around Scott Simley, who's now back in 11th, in the 35 machine. Or the 34, yeah, I believe that was the 35 he went around, and that's Jeff Ramsdell in the 34. So he's moving up. He's moving around. I think we had quite a bit of racing there. I think we were 2-3 wide at one point in time, and a little in front of them. How about Tyler Hudson in 6th position, kind of stacking up a little bit going into turn number 3, but carrying a lot of momentum off. Looks like his rear end maybe a little sideways off the corner. Not quite. A lot of grip on that car. Definitely carrying a lot of speed there.
You bet. And looking back here in 12th position, the number 2 machine of Byron Daly. Now he's got a little bit of damage on the back end of that machine of his. Doesn't look like he can muster up much more than about 179, 180 miles an hour. And he's about, I'm going to say probably about 15, 20 cars away from that lead pack out in front of him up here. So Byron Daly, Tom Moustakis in a 13 machine. Back here in 13th position. I believe those guys are trying to work together here a little bit with Dalton Baldwin up on the outside in a 38 machine. I think these guys have a little bit of damage on them, and just having to take it easy here. Maybe they can't muster up the kind of speed that they need to get up there with that lead pack.
It's highly likely here is, watching these two go at it, Moustakis and Daly, seeing if they're working together here. If they are, they better go, because they have a lot of company right now from the 9, the Shane Doherty. The 39 is, he's coming pretty quickly. He's going to be on the bumper of the 13 of Tom Moustakis. Looks like he's looking low going into turn number 3. He won't have the run, though. He's going to have to back up, and these guys will be able to get on the inside. He's going to have to carry a lot of speed off the corner if he hopes to do anything with these guys, and it looks like he does. Draft definitely helping. There he goes to the inside of Tom Moustakis to the tri-oval here at Michigan International Speedway. See Moustakis going way up the track next to the wall there.
Yeah, and I think Moustakis just getting out of the way for that 39 machine, but it would probably behoove these guys to work together and at least close the distance on that lead pack up there. Take advantage of that draft and try to maintain some speed to get up there with that lead pack. But you never know. 55 laps in the books here at Michigan. We got a whole lot of racing left to go before it's over with. So I'll tell you what, we'll see some strategy probably working out here, here pretty soon. But in the meantime, it's pretty much single file racing here at Michigan. The stuff you see, you guys going up to the outside, I believe these guys are just damaged, a little bit slower off the pace a little bit. Not a whole lot of positions being had right now. Up here in front, Tyler Hudson in 6th position, that number 1 machine, making that outside lane work here for him. But I believe that's going to be E.J. O'Rourke, who makes it around on the inside. E.J. in that number 16 machine. It's good to see him out here inside the top 10 at Michigan tonight as well.
Definitely, and I've been kind of watching this battle back here right now. Still trying to keep my eye on this battle back here for about 12th position. And it looks like Shane Doherty is taking over the spot, but he has a lot of company from the two. Byron Daly. Byron has not left his bumper. He's been pushing him most of the way around the track, trying to run down the front pack, like you said there, JD, and definitely doing a good job of doing it.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, let's go through the rest of the list, of the prize list here. I was talking about those Tamiya models. We're going to be giving away 2 of those things. And if you haven't checked them out, TamiyaUSA.com. 2 IGP manager license. Now, I don't know a whole lot about it, but from what I understand, you can be an F1 team manager, customize your team, negotiate deals, develop cars, and, it sounds like something a little bit more involved than just climbing the cockpit and turning the key on. But 2 IGP manager licenses, good for 1 year, and then 2 SimVibe experience licenses. This is some kind of software that you can put into your audio system if you've got the components. Apparently, it works with transducers that come with the butt kickers, bass shakers, and etc. But you get, I guess you attach them to your seat and you get the feel, apparently, and you get to shake the vibrations that you would feel in a real deal. And of course, they're giving away 1 basher board. This is an FL2 shifter adapter, and it's compatible with the G25, G27 shifters, and capable of being connected directly to a Fanatic wheel or to a PC or Mac. No special drivers needed. But I'll tell you what, some pretty good stuff here being given away by Inside Sim Racing TV. And might as well do a plug for these guys, Inside Sim Racing TV. They sponsor the Thursday Night Real Sim Racing Series. And I'll tell you, it's your first best choice for all the news and reviews in online motorsports. You can join Darren Gandry and Sean Cole for the latest and greatest in product reviews, simulation auto racing games for the PC and Xbox crowd. From steering wheels to full-size racing rigs, Cowboy, I'll tell you what, they got updates on the most popular racing games and a whole lot more. The yellow pages, as I like to call it, of online racing. Inside Sim Racing TV has it all. Visit them at isrtv.com. And in the meantime, and we are going in car with the number 4 machine of Jason Carvillage. Now, Jason Carvillage started on the pole here tonight, Dakota, and has maintained the top 5 up here pretty much all night long. So, I'll tell you what, enjoying the ride with that number 4 machine.
You can see he's just basically, you'll see a lot of just the bumper in front of him. That's all he's really paying attention to is where the cars are in front of him, how much of a gap there is, when he needs to lift. He's really got to focus on his lip points, his brake points if he has any. And actually, I hear clutch right there. He's saving fuel. We were like 5 laps away from pit stops here or less. So Matthew Law can come down to pit road, I'm hearing, but that's clutching. He's trying to save fuel right now.
61 laps in the books here, so Jason Carvillage in that number 4 machine already talking to the crew chief, and apparently they're working on some kind of a fuel strategy here tonight, Dakota. So I'll tell you what, we'll keep an eye on that number 4 machine. He's not making any moves against the 5 machine and the 3 car out there in front of him, but Jason Carvillage did start on the pole here tonight. You know that when Carvillage comes to a racetrack, he's coming with a strategy, and that strategy includes picking up the trophy at the end of the night. Thomas Davis in that 12 machine, he's in 4th position right in behind Richard Doucette. He's been in the top 5 pretty much all night long in that 11 machine. Pit stops should be coming shortly.
Yeah, I know the people that pitted during the first caution can go a little bit further than these guys that haven't pitted or that never pitted yet so far in the first caution. As it looks like the leader, what was the leader, Chad Lawton, is coming down pit road here.
Chad Lawton in that number 3 machine makes his way down pit road, 45 miles an hour. And I'll tell you what, this pit road reminds me of the one at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It seems like it's about 6 miles down to the end of the pit road. But as we watch Chad Lawton make his way into his pit box, he's going to slide to a stop. And I'm sure it's going to be, as he misses the cue, has to back it up. That's going to cost him precious time here in the pit box. Right side goes up. It's going to be a 4-tire change for this machine. It's going to be 4 new shoes and a bucket of oats, as the cowboy calls it. Chad Lawton down and out on his way back to the track.
There is no merge rule. He can go straight out onto the track if he wants to, and that's what he does. He'll stay on the bottom where nobody else runs, and now he moves up to the preferred lane and is gone. Chad Lawton, who was showed 19th last time he crossed the line, and up front, Dustin Montgomery has resumed the lead with Jason Carvalage, Thomas Davies, Richard Doucette, and Tyler Hudson, and we wait for them to come down pit road also.
You bet. Green flag pit stops underway here at Michigan International Raceway, and I'll tell you what, this could be the one. This could be the fuel strategy pit stop everybody's been looking for, as we get a bunch of them coming down pit road. The 20 machine in 7th position coming down. Oh, we got a spinner on pit road, guys.
E.J. O'Rourke he's going to be scored 8th this time. He was up quite a ways up though, and he's coming down. He'll lose a lot of time here. It was, I believe that, I think it was Jason Carvalage was the first car to come down though on the floor. He was scored, I believe it was 2nd or 3rd last time by. Currently 6th now, or was scored 6th, and he's come down. And right side's going up on that machine, so putting on at least right sides here as the tire that side goes down. They go down to the left side. Left side's going up. 4-tire stop here for Jason Carvalage.
You bet E.J. O'Rourke gets his pit stop complete. Almost had an upset there at the entrance to pit road. That's going to cost him dearly. E.J. sitting in 12th position, leaving pit road, and he's side by side with the Shane Doherty in that 39 machine. Dustin Montgomery in the number 5 machine being shown in 2nd position. He drops off on his way down pit road. He's going to pull it into his pit box, and I'm sure it's going to be 4 new shoes and a bucket of oats for that machine as well here at Michigan Speedway. I don't know that you'd want to risk a 2-tire change, even with 66 laps in the books, Dakota. So it's a 4-tire change for the number 5 machine, Dustin Montgomery, who has occupied the top 5 pretty much all night long, down and out on his way.
I do believe we'll have to see at least one more stop, so I don't think we'll see 2 tires till at least that stop, because you don't want to come in and put on 4 tires later when you have so few laps left. That'll cost you time, so if you put them on now, you can make up those time on the fresh tires, and you can make up even more time when you take 2 tires on the next stop. I think that's the strategy we're seeing right now, as I'm watching Chad Lawton all the way back in 9th position, was scored in 9th as he goes around. I do want to say that could be the 12 car. Thomas
All
Davis.
right, and we've got a spinner on the front stretch here coming off of turn 1, guys. This is going to be the 26th position 42 car of Mark Melcher. He's going to go for an e-ticket ride. I think he was trying to get that machine woed down. He's on the outside lane up here. Got it pulled back here, watching him. He's trying to get down to the bottom here, oversteers. Car starts to spin around, almost heads down pit road, corrects it, but tell you what, just completely out of control, and then gets tagged by a couple of cars. I need to roll it back here. That happened really quick, as he does a triple axle right there on the edge of the grass here on the front stretch.
Up front,
that's going to be Tim Blum. Tim Blum comes off turn 1 and just does, nowhere to go. Has the 42 dead ahead, and he's going to get a piece of that action, along with Sheldon Johnson in 28th position in that 28 car. Both of them going to tag that number 42 car just slightly, and wow, managed to save it. But clean and green, still racing.
Currently up front, Dustin Montgomery has reclaimed the lead. Tyler Hudson in 2nd position, running down Montgomery, maybe a lap or 2 or 3 for fresher tires. And definitely has the draft right now, really helping him run down Dustin Montgomery. As Richard Doucette and Jason Karlovich just switched positions for 3rd position there, trying to run down Tyler Hudson and Dustin Montgomery. It looks like Hudson and Montgomery are now hooked up, nose to tail. That's what it is.
Nose to tail, you bet. And I'll tell you what, we're going to keep an eye on that number 4 machine of Jason Carlovich. And a word has it that a fuel strategy game may be in effect right now with the pit stops that we just had. So we'll have to keep an eye on that situation. I want to give a big shout out to Adam Gillen and Kyle Young over there. They're broadcasting, sitting in on the second split over there. And I'll tell you what, Adam qualified in this race here tonight, got caught up in one of the cautions, unfortunately had to put his car behind the wall, and then of course beat a fast track up to the booth. He's sitting over there in that hauler next to us here at Michigan calling that second split race. So a big shout out to Adam Gillen and Kyle Young. Of course, you can catch that live action right here on ETV Live, etv-eplay.net. The links are at the top of the page and in the menu, so it's just like television, cowboy. Flip the channels and get the best of both.
You could actually pull both at the same time. I wouldn't recommend it, but it is doable.
You know, you got to have a pretty strong machine and a good download, but absolutely you can pull them both at the same time. If you got a couple of monitors, why put one on one side and one on the other, and good to go. But up here in the front is Colin Keister, I think this number 8 machine, 26th position. Actually, I thought it was up in front. We got a bunch of guys up here that are really quite a ways off the pace. I believe that's going to be Dalton. Oh, go ahead, Dalton Baldwin, about 16 seconds off the pace because he's got a crowd with him. Colin Kester back here, Michael Abrams. This is about 25th position on back. Andrew Bochetter, Greg Hooks, Justin Brown with a lot of damage. I think these guys are just trying to get the laps in. Now, Andrew Bochetter's truck, 41 machine in 28th position, doesn't look too bad as he goes around the 29 on the backstretch, but you can tell, Dakota, that some of these guys out here with the damage from the cautions that we've had, you know, they're starting to affect the handling on these machines. You just can't get the speed they need to get up to keep these things moving, at least towards the front.
Well, another thing you want to think about is these guys have been driving on old tires for however long it's been. You know, it's been a full fuel run. They've been out there on these older tires. They come down, they get fresh tires. The car is going to drive like entirely different. Drivers have to adjust between short runs and long runs and how the car is going to handle, whether it's going to be sideways, whether it's going to be really comfortable. And I think this truck right now is what I've been hearing is it gets a little bit more comfortable as the run goes on. It's a little edgy to begin with right now, and these guys are getting back out there where it's a little edgy. They've got to readjust and they've got to get used to throttle control. Whereas before, in the long run, they might be hammering the throttle down coming off the corner. But I do want to highlight Jeff Ramsdell, 34th, first car, one lap down, has joined the lead back because they just lapped him. He just jumped back in line trying to race these guys, but kind of falling back a little bit. These guys running a really fast pace up here.
Yeah, you bet. Jeff Ramsdell, he's got a herd of cars out there in front of him, but Jeff Ramsdell trying to get that lap back, and he's trying to do it the hard way here, but he's got significant damage on the left side, the left rear of that machine. Spoiler sticking straight up in the air, but it is bent up a little bit. So, Jeff trying to hang on to everything he's got right here in 34th position. But I'll tell you what, things are getting kind of spread out here at Michigan. Why don't we go ahead and step away? Let's take another commercial break. 71 laps in the books here. Of course, the race being sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV. You're watching it live on ETV Live, LSR TV. Don't wander off, cowboy. We'll be right back.
If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products, reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com, and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy.
And we're back live at Michigan International Speedway with a March on Michigan 300, sponsored by Inside Sim Racing. We're under caution now, as Richard Doucette, the 11 machine, he was running in the 5th position, I believe, heading into turn number 3. Looks like he just stacks up a little bit. He was in 5th position, just stacks up a little bit right in front of the 3. Chad Lott maybe slows up a little bit too much, and the 3 gets in the back of him, turns him around. And so the 11 will take a hard hit and then get the outside wall hard. Smoke pouring out of that machine. Looks like he could very well be done here, as he's also dog tracking.
All right, caution flag flies again here at Michigan International Raceway. And I'll tell you what, for all you over there in the chat room, I do apologize. You know, it's not often that the Cowboy gets up here in the booth and broadcasts one of these races. So cars, trucks, what's the difference? 4 wheels and a steering wheel, it's all you need, and a high horsepower motor. So, but I'll tell you, we are having some fun here.
Definitely here. Now we'll watch. What's going to be interesting here is who pits and who doesn't. If they come down pit road, this is going to extend the fuel window. They can go a little bit longer. We have quite a few laps on the tires, so I think we'll see a lot of 4-tire stops right now. We could even see some 2 tires. Who knows? As we'll just have to watch here as Tyler Hudson leads them down.
You know, and this may be, you know, we were talking about fuel strategy earlier, Dakota. I don't know, this may upset things as pretty much everybody comes down pit road, and it's going to be 4 tires of fuel for pretty much anybody. 74 laps in the books here, so, you know, I got to think that maybe fuel strategy might no longer come into play.
We still have 1 more pit stop to go. We'll just have to see if we see another caution, but I do know that we cannot make it this far. We had pit stops around lap 60 or 70, and guys saying they can only go to about lap 100, 110. This could put it a lot closer, but I do not think that we can go to the end on fuel. And it looks like Jason Karlovich will beat out Tyler Hudson for the lead on pit road. So how about the 4 machine who started from the pole will reclaim the pole position on the restart here.
All right, and I'll tell you what, with pit stops pretty much over with, why don't we do a couple of plugs here. Hey, what about the VRC Mark II virtual racing seat? I'll tell you what, if you're into racing cockpits, this is a simulation racing cockpit designed by championship race car driver Bob Earl. Now, I'll tell you something, Cowboy, who better than a real race car driver to design your simulation racing cockpit? Not one of these backyard pipe fitters who's got a pretty snazzy little welding outfit. But I'll tell you what, as a former race car driver, Bob Earl knows what it means to be comfortable inside the cockpit. This design features a fully adjustable seat and frame, additional monitor stand, and shifter mount sold separately. Proud sponsor of the 2013, for the 2nd time in a row, the RSR Full Throttle Cup Series. High quality and affordable virtual racing cockpit priced at just $349. That is a Christmas present, birthday present. You can see it at BobEarlRacing.com. You can order one tonight. BobEarlRacing.com, Dakota.
And we are ETV Live, powered by the HD Radio Network, and home of the ETV Live Radio. The HD Radio Network gives you a variety of stations to choose from big 80s metal, all HDR classics, and all HDR country, and more. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude. HD Radio Network stations are featured on TuneIn, iTunes Radio, TuneIn Radio, and also listen in the Windows Media Guide. Listen today from HDRadioNetwork.com, or take it with you. Get the mobile app from TuneIn.com.
Yeah, and that's something kind of new here at ETV Live, the radio station. Of course, it's an ongoing project, where they call it a WIP, work in progress. But we've got some live radio shows coming your way here. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too early here yet, but we're working on some projects that I think everybody will enjoy. And looking forward to that. But in the meantime, you can enjoy classic rock and roll on the ETV Live Radio 24/7, Cowboy, of course, powered by the HD Radio Network. Back out here on the track, let's take you back down through the top 10 here. Jason Carwood out in front, Tyler D. Hudson, Dustin Montgomery, Tony Rapusard in the 19 machine, and in 5th position, that number 12 car of Thomas Davis, Dakota.
And I believe in the 6th position is Byron Daly on his out, who will be on the next row on the inside, when we go back, green flag racing will be Chad Lawton, who's currently sitting in 7th. Tom Mustakas up to 8th position. I believe he had a little bit of damage earlier when we were talking about him. David Comstock up to 9th, and how about Matthew Wright in 10th position? Now look who's in 11th there, JD.
You bet. E.J. O'Rourke. And I'll tell you, E.J. O'Rourke in the number 16 machine, just outside the top 10. It's good to see him out here participating here tonight. I know sometimes he gets a bad run of luck on ETV Live broadcast, but holding his own here tonight.
Definitely, and then I think we mentioned Matthew Larrigan also. He was actually up front for a little while during the green flag stops. He was one of the first out. He had picked up a few spots, but now he's currently sitting 34th with 1 lap down.
You bet. Matthew Largan, he spent some time up here in the booth with us a few months back, actually about 6-8 months ago. But, of course, school gets in the way, and, you know, these young guys that come to work for us here, you know, I'm a real thing about getting your education and getting school and everything, as Dakota well knows. But that all, you know, comes first before you want to entertain coming up here in the booth and broadcasting races. But hey, if you think you got what it takes, send me an email, Cowboy, and we'll get you an interview. We're always looking for people who are energetic, excited, and love doing this stuff. So contact us at etv-eplay.net, and we'll talk to you, give you an interview. In the meantime, I believe the lights are out on the pace car. These guys are getting lined up double file, getting back to the restart here. Jason Carlin, Tyler Hudson on the front row, going to pick up another green flag as we get back to rolling here on lap 81 at Michigan International Raceway.
And trust me, when he says I hear about it all the time, I do. He means it. But here we go, getting set for the green flag. Pace car dives off. We wait for the flagman to throw the green flag out. It'll be Jason Karlovich leading him to the green flag with Tyler Hudson on his outside. Green flag is out, and Jason Karlovich away.
I tell you what, these guys, this is going to be the class of the field right here up here in the front. I mean, Jason Carver started out on the pole here. He spent pretty much all night long up here in front. But this thing ain't over yet, Cowboy, as, you know, we go backwards here a little bit. But you guys like Thomas Davis back here, 12th position, or 6th position, number 12 car. Chad Lawton slipping backwards here a little bit. Now, Chad started up a little bit closer to the front, but don't count him out either. Tom Mustakas in 8th position as we go 2 wide up here. The number 2 machine up on the outside, that's Byron Daly, who's sneaking up here and here to the top 5 as we go 3 wide down the front stretch. I'll tell you what, this is getting pretty wicked here with the 19 up on the outside, the 13 on the bottom, the 2 stuck in the middle of the sandwich as we make it into turn 1.
See, I think Byron Daly's Twitter handle, his Twitter name is 3 Wide Daily. It might be that for a reason. This thing was 3 wide in the middle, makes it work, and picks up 2 spots there.
3 Wide Daily. Tell you what, that's a nickname for you.
I think he's got that nickname for a reason, but up front, Jason Karlovich still leads the way. Tyler Hudson in 2nd. Dustin Montgomery still sitting in 3rd with Thomas Davies and Chad Lawton rounding out the top 5 currently.
You bet. And I'm trying to get into this chat room over here and mix it up with these guys, but having a little bit of difficulty. But I tell you what, Dakota doing a good job keeping an eye on things over there. And for all you over there in chat room, thanks for joining us here tonight. Hope you come back for some more broadcasting 5 nights a week. etvlive-eplay.net. Check out the broadcast schedule. And I'll tell you what, if you can't watch it, you can tune in on race night on your mobile machine, your iPhone, your Android, whatever it takes, Cowboy. If you've got the mobile app, you can tune in to ETV Live Radio. ETV Live Radio broadcasting, simulcast all of our live race events. But front row gets it all settled out here, pretty much single file all the way back to Byron Daly. But let's go back even further than that. Let's take it back to the 39 machine, 13th position back here. Shane Doherty still up in that top line up here. Now his truck looks pretty clean as he works that top groove coming through turn 1. He's got the 20 down there on the bottom. That's going to be Matthew Wright in 14th position.
You see Shane make up a lot of speed, a lot of momentum, a lot of track position here compared to that truck on the inside who seemed nearly clear that truck. But he didn't clear that truck. This is where he's going to lose it all. He's got to take the wider part of the track around the outside to the corner. You see him losing so much time, so much speed up there that he will actually be cleared in the process. And he had nearly cleared that truck on the inside when it was going into 3. I mean, that's how fast it happens, and that's why you've got to be on the inside here at a place like Michigan International Speedway.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, 16th position, the 33 machine, getting kind of dicey with the guys up in front of them. We go off into turn 2 here, coming down the backstretch. Things were looking to be 3 wide out in front of them, but Alan Cryer in 16th position here, that 33 machine, he's hanging on pretty good as the 10 goes motoring by on the inside, off into turn 3. Hey, I want to give a shout out to the guys over in the chat room. I want to say howdy to Tommy Boy. I don't know who that's, Skins and Motorsports, Schultz, something or other racing. A lot of these nicknames, Leck and guest Dylan Taylor. Glad you guys are tuning in. Of course, a lot of guest 9424. You know, you guys can come in here with your real name. Grumpy in the house over there. Brooks watching the race. Good evening, good afternoon, guys. Happy Easter to you all, and enjoy the festivities here at Michigan Raceway.
Indeed, as we are looking back here, 2 wide. We were 2 wide. Shane Doherty, who was back there in 13th, has now went back around the 20. Matthew Wright, they've been going back and forth for a few laps. And then before we saw the 20 on the inside, nearly cleared by the 39. He actually went into turns 3 and 4 and cleared the 39 in one corner. And then the 39, Shane Doherty came back and cleared the 20 after a little while of racing. It looks like it is Shane Doherty now up front. And that's just 12th position.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, I was looking at qualifying times here just a little bit ago, pulling up some stats. Now your top 3 qualified under the 41-second mark. That's going to be Jason Carveledge, Chad Lawton, Thomas Davis, all with a 40.99, getting down into the 98s with Jason Carveledge and Chad Lawton. And then 41 seconds for the 5th place qualifier, Dustin Montgomery here. But I'll tell you, from him on back, dude, it's a tight show. So it could have been anybody's game here at Michigan here tonight. So, just because you got a 49.86 qualifying time, hey, you know what, the last guy in line, he's got like a 41.575. Not too shabby here at a place like Michigan. You get up with a dancing partner here, just like the Super Speedway tracks, get the job done, cowboy. Hey, it could be anybody's game here at Michigan.
Definitely. We thought, one, Tyler Hudson sideways up front. He's in 2nd position, man. You should have seen him coming through 3 and 4, or off of 4. Snapped the car nearly 3 times, but saved it every time, keeping that car rolling.
A. Larson joining the house with Blade Whit and Brakes too, and glad to have you guys along here. Question being asked over there in the chat room, what's going on in the 2nd split? Hey, Cowboy, the links are at the top of the page here on etv-eplay.net. Kyle Young and Adam Gillen, and we're calling the action up there a little while ago, but you catch that action in the 2nd split. If you got 2 monitors, you can put one up on each monitor, and it's like flipping the channels through, on television. So 2nd split action, you need to click on the link up there and keep up with what's happening there. We do not have direct radio contact with either one of the guys over there at that race. Somebody forgot to patch the cord between the 2 haulers, but we'll do what we can to try to keep you updated.
And I do believe that we've been having a problem over there. Adam Gillen having some troubles, and it looks like Kyle Young, and we might have got silent over there possibly, or maybe have one person over there now talking, but either way, I do believe we still have somebody over there. And that is, again, if you want to go over to that channel, it's the ETV Live/LSRTV channel at the very top of the page. So we are still green flag racing here with the 5 of Dustin Montgomery in 3rd position. He's kind of been going back and forth. I wonder if these guys are saving field like they were before. How about 3 wide Daly all the way back in 6th position at the 2 machine? He's now looking to get around to 3. Chad Lawton, if he can do it. The black stripes on the back of that car. Moving around through the field here. Oh, how about 23rd position, the 8 to 22. Jeremy Nyland's 3 wide at one point. I don't know who that is he was 3 wide with. Somebody went to the very bottom, just moved out of the way, let these guys go. That was Kyle Wickett. They were 2 by 2 for a second. Not quite anymore. Looks like that was Kyle Wickett. Will fall back 3 spots at least. Jeremy Nyland picking up a spot. How about Shelvin Johnson and Andre Cheddar, I do believe that is going at it here for just about the 22nd position, 21st position.
You bet, and I tell you what, Adam Gilliland, I just saw his truck come out of the back, and he is sitting down there on pit road, guys, so I don't know what's going on with that number 7 machine suddenly appearing on pit road down there. Don't know if he's trying to get repairs done to that machine, get it back out on the track or not, but it's still sitting there on pit road. In the meantime, we're trying to get some contact with the guys over at the second split and pick up some action over there. But we're working on trying to get Kyle Young patched over to our booth over here so that we can let everybody know what's going on in the second split. You can tune in by going to the etv-eplay.net website, and the link's right there at the top of the page, or in the menu on the right side, just click on the LSR TV second split link up there and catch the action there too. But in the meantime, Jason Carlin's holding down the board up here in front. That's no surprise. Tyler Hudson giving a challenge to him. The 15 machine slipping up to the upside, or actually the 15 car giving way to these guys. That's going to be Nick Nevin. He's going to go down a lap here, 30th position here up on the outside as he let the leaders go by. Matthew Largan in 31st position has also slipped backwards. Dakota, he's a lap down, but he's got 1, 2, 3 of them up in front. Of course, Nick Nevin being the first one, so it's going to be a challenge to try to get that lap back. 94 laps in the books, Cowboy. We're getting to the downhill side of things here in Michigan.
Actually, 95 for the leader right now. He's going to be 96 coming across the line. That means 55 to go at the line. Laps are closing down here, JD. As caution's out. Hearing a wreck somewhere on the racetrack. We're looking to find out exactly where it was. Oh, I think I found it. Eugene Mazganoff, 17th position, lap 95, heading into turn number 3. The 9 and the, I want to say it's the 36 of Marco Pintanen will make contact. It looks like maybe net coating. That will spin the 9 around into the outside wall. Hard hit for the 9. That could very well cost him a lot of time here tonight, as it looks like the toe might be knocked out of that 9 machine.
Been watching that 9 machine here for quite some time, Dakota, and I think he's been having some handling difficulties. Of course, he's been involved, I think, in a couple of cautions here. But you're absolutely right. Makes contact with the 36 machine. Actually, looks like he tries to come down across the nose of the 36, fighting an ill-handling car. Of course, making contact. The 9 goes spinning off into the sunset, and lots of damage to that machine for sure.
Had somebody come across the chat room asking where Greg Hooks was. Looking to find out exactly where he currently runs, and I believe he is 27th. He was 21 seconds behind the leader. Looks like he'll be back up with this caution though. But with this caution, we're a lot closer to being able to make it on fuel here, JD, as the 4 car, Jason Karlovich, leads them down. Last time it was Tyler Hudson leading them down. This time it's Jason Karlovich. Karlovich beat Hudson off pit road. Can he do the same thing, or will it be an alternate? Will Hudson beat Karlovich off pit road as they come down to very last stalls? And looks like Hudson pulling off rather early, but it will be Karlovich into the very, very first stall. Less time, he's going to spend less time trying to get off of pit road, less time trying to accelerate. As the right sides go up on the 4 machine, and it looks like they go down. We're going to the left sides. Left side's going up. Full tank of fuel will be net. The 3 takes 2 tires. That's Chad Lawton, and he'll pick up a few spots there. He was 5th coming in, and it looks like Tyler Hudson will beat out Jason Karlovich for 2nd.
All right, 2-tire change. I'll tell you what, that's pretty wicked pit stop there, Cowboy. With 54 laps left in this race here tonight, that might be a high-risk pit stop there for that 3 machine of Chad Lawton. Only time will tell as we get closer and closer and closer. I'll tell you what, checking over here in the chat room, getting a few more people logged in. A. Larson joining the house over here. I want to say howdy to Justin, Joe, Jay, Leck, everybody over there. I'll tell you, we've got a house full. And we're glad you're joining the festivities here tonight. Of course, this is being sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV, presented by ETV Live. We're going to go ahead and step away. Let's take a quick one. Corn dogs and Corona time, Cowboy, up here in the booth, so don't wander off. We'll be right back. If you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products, reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com, and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy. And we are back live here at Michigan Speedway. And I'll tell you what, this has been an awesome race thus far. 4 cautions in the book here, 98 laps. We've got the short side of the show going here. But I'll tell you what, let's talk about iLeague Race. Now, I'll tell you, I'm impressed by these guys. This is a one-stop shop for iRacing leagues looking for total website and points management. Now, they got it all, cowboy. Custom scoring protocols, complete scheduling and management of series and events. You can even set up a blog over there to recap your race with photos and the like. iLeague Race also provides driver and team sign-ups. You can get everybody registered over there, and with integration of APIs such as scoring tickers and points updates, you can you can embed those on different websites, pass them out to your friends if they've got websites, blog sites. But I'll tell you what, cowboy, if you have an iRacing league, you need iLeagueRace.com. iLeagueRace.com. I tell you what, that's a one-stop shop for everything you need for league management.
And JD, it's getting time where the bad weather's going away. It's starting to warm up, and it's time. You might see people, maybe start moving or needing things hauled. JD, how about that?
Absolutely. You bet. And I'll tell you what, Mercer Trucking, Gary Mercer, those guys have been along with ETV Live for quite some time. But here's how it goes, cowboy. Dude, if your pickup truck is so small for the load, you need to get a real truck to haul it. Sponsoring drivers in several iRacing official series, you can catch Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. They provide long and short haul options for hauling furniture, perishables, even refrigerated products, and a whole lot more. Storage facilities in the U.S. and Canada. In fact, one of them is right down here by me. CT Pat approved and fast express drivers. Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, one of the best choices to haul your load. Give the old pickup truck a rest, cowboy. Call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 800-668-2980, or check them out at gmercer.com. And if you got a race car to haul around Dakota, he'll haul them too.
Yeah, especially the wrecked ones, which generally is what you need to haul because there's so much it's kind of hard to haul in a truck or anything of the sort. But here we go. Pace car's off, getting set to go green flag racing. It's Chad Lawton on 2 tires leading with a green flag. It's a huge jump. Probably one of the best jumps we've seen all night is the one of Tyler Hudson all the way down to the apron, trying to make up a lot of time down there. Not making up a whole lot, though, as Chad Lawton heads into turn number 1 leading. For one of the, I wouldn't say it's the first time tonight they actually started the outside of row 1, but definitely put himself up front with some track position here. Only came from 5th to 1st with those 2 tires, though. It could have been a bad call as now Tyler Hudson runs him down to the straightaway here.
You bet. And Cartilage right back here in 3rd position. He's watching all that take place. Pulls right up to the bumper of Hudson. So these boys finally getting after it. 100 laps in the books, 50 more to go here at Michigan Speedway. Definitely on a downhill side of things here. But this single file all the way back. I got a funny feeling these guys are going to wait and let it all hang out a little bit later on. 10th position, the 16 machine. E.J. O'Rourke on the bottom with the 13 on the top. The 39 being pushed by the 13. I'll tell you what, E.J.'s got a little bit of help coming out of Alex Warren back here in 11th position, that 10 truck. So I'll tell you what, things are going to get dicey here, guys. 101 laps in the books. We are on the downhill side.
And that Tom Moustakis falling in line behind the 10 of Alex Warren and the 16 of E.J. O'Rourke, so that'll move Tom probably in position to get around that car stuck on the outside is behind Tom Moustakis, the 24. If David Comstock looks to the outside, he's going backwards quite a bit. He was 12th last time by. He'll definitely lose a spot or 2 or 3 possibly here. Falling back a little bit.
Tom Moustakis back here in 13th position in that number 10 machine. Tom, hanging out there. Truck looks clean, not a lot of damage on it. So Tom Moustakis may be a threat here too, guys. Just 1 notch out of the top 10 here. He's got the 39 up top. Looks like the 39 might be going backwards. That's Shane Doherty in that blue draw-type machine of his. Looks like he might have tagged the wall, got a little souvenir there a little bit. But I tell you what, this ain't over yet, Cowboy, as we get some good racing going here. Checking the chat room over here again, Dakota. Guys are starting to log in here as the race starts to wind down. Cowboy Killer, how's that, Cowboy? And then Frederick, so I can't pronounce your last name, Cowboy, but I'll tell you what, we're glad you're involved in the race here tonight. And, of course, Joe, Jay, Justin, a lot of these guys have been here for quite some time. Mickey in the house, Renegade, watching the race tonight here, too. So all the guys logged over here in the chat room. And glad you're tuning in and watching.
And getting a question, hasn't number 1 been in front all race? And that the number 1 is, in fact, Hudson. Tyler Hudson has not led the whole race. Actually, I believe it was the last 2 runs, more recently, that he actually got up front and was able to lead a few laps. But for a long time, it was just a 4 of Jason Karlovich leading the way. And we had a pretty good battle with the draft the way it was with Dustin Montgomery and a few of these other guys back here. Tony Repisser doing a pretty good job of hanging up here in the 19 car. He's been up here most of the races. He now gets, how about E.J. O'Rourke to the inside of the 19 machine. That's going to be for 6th or 7th position. O'Rourke is going to lose the momentum coming off the corner. Will Alex Warren stick with him? He will. He's going to get to the bumper of the 16 and try to push it, maybe going into turn number 3. But now that the 19 is clear and doesn't have to give up a whole lot of room, now the 19 goes underneath the 5 like Dustin Montgomery for 6th.
Starting to get dicey here. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, right there in front of E.J. O'Rourke, the 5 up on the outside, the 19 on the bottom, looking for position here, and this is how you get it at Michigan Speedway. E.J. watching all that happen, sitting up here in 10th. But let's take it back here a couple of notches. Let's give a shout-out to Brandon Chabrico, 30th position in that number 23 machine. We're going to go backwards here a little bit. Justin Brown back here hanging out 31st position. These guys are all a lap or better down, but they're hanging tight, Cowboy. Paul Klein in the house. Adriano Pinheiro on his way down pit road to get some damage repaired. But I'll tell you what, big shout out to these guys for hanging tight, Cowboy, 1 or more laps down. In the meantime, the race is starting to take place up here in the front from about, let's take it from about 9th position forward here. Tom Moustakis making his way up to the bumper of that number 16 machine. That's going to be E.J. O'Rourke in 8th position here. And these guys, I think they're peeking, they're looking around, they're dicing around here a little bit, trying to psych the guy in front of them out a little bit. Wonder if he's watching that mirror to see what happens. But Dustin Montgomery, 6th position, that number 5 machine up on the outside. Maybe trying to get a run off the turn, doesn't quite make it, has to back out of the throttle of 2. Byron Daly almost making contact off turn 2, going down the backstretch.
And the battle for 8 just heated up because E.J. O'Rourke came off with turn number 2 sideways, lost a lot of time. When he saved it, he shot down the bottom. That put Tom Moustakis around his outside. A few laps ago, it was Alex Warren riding behind the 16 of E.J. O'Rourke, and Alex got loose in 3 and 4. It gave the spot up to Tom Moustakis. Now Tom Moustakis stuck on the outside. Not enough momentum, not enough help. I think he's going to go backwards a few spots here as he's now losing the spot to Alex Warren.
And back up to the front, Cowboy. Challenge for the lead. Tyler D. Hudson wanted it. He got it. Chad Lawton to 2nd position. Actually, Chad Lawton falling backwards here as Jason Carveledge follows Chad Lawton right on through. Chad Lawton got it from Jason Carveledge using that apron line down there on the front stretch. And I'll tell you what, there is a no man's land down there. That's where that green stuff encroaches onto that asphalt stuff down there. You put 2 tires across that line, game over, Cowboy. But I'll tell you what, Tyler Hudson trying to get the job done up here in front.
And how about Byron Daly up to 3rd position? He's in a pretty good spot. He also got around the 3 at Chad Lawton.
Yeah, I got a funny feeling Chad Lawton either laying back something wrong with that number 3 machine of his. Lawton now moving back to 4th position, but Thomas Davis in 5th, and that 12 machine, he's staring at the bumper of that pink machine up in front of him, that pink truck, let's call it. But Dustin Montgomery, 6th position, that number 5 machine. Of course, he's watching all those guys duke it out up here wondering, okay, when's it going to be my turn, Cowboy?
You got to remember, Chad Lawton in the 3 car, who's currently sitting at 4th, is on 2 tires, so he's definitely could be a little slower here. Could not have the handling these guys do.
Hey, and Joe J. over in the chat room, he says he's an expert on getting 2 tires onto that green stuff. I tell you what, that takes you for an e-ticket ride, doesn't it, Cowboy? I tell you what, out here at Michigan Speedway, this thing's starting to shape up like the race of the season here. Tony Rapusard up here in 7th position, the 19 truck on the outside. As the 10 comes motoring by, he's going to have some help. That's going to be E.J. O'Rourke in the 16 machine as he dives up in front of the 19. The 10 truck down there on the bottom. Of course, E.J. needs to get to the bottom of the lane down there in the turn in order to hang on to it as he goes side by side with the number 10 machine of Alex Warren.
And Warren slips up. He's almost, I don't know if he's clear or not, but he was coming up either way. Looks like he'll get back down on the inside. He will now not quite be clear of the 16. The 16 has some help from the 19. That's not stopping Alex Warren. Alex Warren trying to arc his corner. He's going to get it arced, and he will hold the inside lane and carry the spot going through turns 1 and 2.
You bet. Moustakas going backwards. It'll drop back to 11th position in that number 13. Moustakas trying to hang on to everything he's got as 19 goes by on the outside here, but there is a herd of cars, Cowboy, come on, they're trucks. Herd of trucks back here coming through turn 3, turn 4 now, going to head down the front stretch. So that's going to be the 16 machine up on the outside, and then the 31 on the bottom, of course, Rapusard, Tony Rapusard, I hope I'm saying that right, in position 10 in that 19 machine. He's been trying to get the job done on the outside here as well. It's the 38 of Dalton Baldwin in 13th position. He comes down for the ride here. I'll tell you what, 111 laps in the books. These guys are starting to cut those ponies loose and get the race on.
Definitely, but do remember, these guys could be close on fuel possibly. We do have to keep our eye on that with 40 laps remaining here at Michigan International Speedway.
All right, we're hearing that the 13 machine of Tom Moustakas gets loose. Actually, looks like he might have gotten tagged by the 16. Takes a knock, heads for the inside of the apron, back on the backstretch. This is going to be back here about 10th position, guys. And I'll tell you what, tangles with that apron line coming through turn 3 and manages to hang on. But Tom Moustakas losing serious positions here, going backwards because of that little mishap. So everything that he got, he just lost. Has to make it up as he drops all the way back to 17th.
17th, and he's got to make up a gap between him and the last car in line there, and that's Marco Pintanen. And there's quite a bit of a gap there. I wouldn't say that he can't make it up, but it might take him a lap or 2 or possibly 3. And that's just making up the gap. Then he's got to get around him. Plus, he's got a whole lot of traffic to navigate to make up as many spots as he lost there.
You bet, and let's take it on forward here for just a minute. Let's start out with 6th position, the number 5 machine. That's going to be Dustin Montgomery. Now everybody forward, everybody in front of him. Dude, I see the elbows hanging out the windows, and they're just cruising. This is autopilot, Cowboy. 112, 113 laps in the books. It ain't time yet, and I'm sure that Tyler Hudson will let everybody know when that time comes. But in the meantime, in behind them, these guys are rocking and rolling, dicing and slicing, looking for positions here, everything they can get as the laps start to wind down here at Michigan Speedway.
And I've been kind of watching this line. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys start saving fuel here soon again. Just the way they're riding, they can do that. It kind of looks like they are just riding single file. Things have calmed down from the way they were at the start of the race. But looking back here, all the way up to 12th position, 31 car, there's some racing going on about back here.
Yeah, there is, and I'll tell you what, like I said, I think those guys up there in front, they're just kind of biding their time, just getting their laps in. The race don't start for them until about 5 to go. But these guys back here, it's about position and whatever they can get, and they got to start getting them now. But looking at Jason Patterson, that 31, she tags the wall back here coming off the turn. But out in front of them, pretty much single file all the way to the front. So maybe they're taking some lessons from the guys up in the front, Hudson and Carvillage and those guys. But I'll tell you what, you never know what's going through the mind of a race car driver. Anything can happen here, and it could here at Michigan tonight. Of course, the race being sponsored by Inside the Sim Racing TV. Darren Ganji in the house earlier. I think he's racing in either the 3rd or 4th split. I can't remember. But we did have him live up here in the booth during the pre-race show. It was awful fun to have him along for the ride up here. But I'm sure they're going to be giving some awesome coverage on the episode, the next Inside Sim Racing TV episode that airs following the race here tonight. So tune in and get the latest and greatest from Inside Sim Racing, ISRTV.com, Dakota.
And John, or how about JD up here? Look at the 9th position car. Was 9th last time across the line. That was E.J. O'Rourke. He went backwards on the outside. He's pulled the crossover back now on the inside of the 19. Has he had a huge run, and he might lose it here. Don't quite know. He's going to be at the bumper going into the corner, so that should give the preferred lane up to E.J. O'Rourke. He has the lift in the center, so as to not run over the 19, but he's carrying a lot of momentum off the corner. He's going to be side-by-side, door-to-door, with 19 coming off of turn number 4, going down to the front stretch. It will be the 16 at the line.
That's going to be Tony Rapusard back here duking it out with E.J. O'Rourke, but I'll tell you what, Cowboy, that 19 machine, he ain't easy to give up here as he tries to make it work for him. But 116 laps in the books here at Michigan. Of course, nothing changing up there in the front. It's just follow the leader. These guys back here from about 8th position back, they're looking for every position that they can get. Scott Smiley, 12th position, guys, in that number 35 machine. Now, we haven't mentioned his name very much before, but that's about the cleanest looking truck on the track here tonight, as Scott just burns the laps off here, waiting, biding his time here as the laps start to wind down. And then I'm sure he'll put it together and try to race it out up here. But out in front of him, Dalton Baldwin, 11th position at 38 machine. I don't know what's going on with 39. Been watching, I think he may be having a little bit of electrical problems for that 39 machine of Shane Doherty in 10th position. Him and Tony Rapusard, E.J. O'Rourke up here, they've been slicing and dicing here for about 5 laps.
Now, I would not be surprised if E.J. O'Rourke gets in the bumper of this 19. He could not be very happy. The 19 nearly turned the 16. I don't know how he did it, but he was just making contact with him, pushing him going through the travel, and that nearly put the 19 around, or the 16 around. That was E.J. O'Rourke nearly getting turned, and now he goes back around the 19. 19 gets a little sideways. He might lose a little time here. Never mind. He's going to make up time and get sideways. Man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, E.J. O'Rourke knows how to use that chrome horn, Cowboy, and I got a funny feeling it will come out before the night's over here at Michigan. But I tell you, Shane Doherty watching all that happen in front of him. And back of him, I mean, let's say from Jason Patterson, 14th position on forward, look at his windshield, Cowboy. These guys are all over the track looking for everything they can get.
And the 19 makes contact with the 16 once again. It's probably one of the best battles on the track right now. This is a battle for 8th position. As E.J. O'Rourke not getting passed by the 19 of Tony Rapusard. It looks like Tony just cleared him, but here comes E.J. O'Rourke with a huge run using the draft, and will be able to get to the bumper. Last time the 19 got to the bumper of the 16, he made a little bit of contact. You see the 16 doing the same, pushing him down the straightaway, and now there goes the 16. Maybe no, he's not going to look inside. He'll back up the corner a lot to corner entry, maybe pick up a little bit of time in the center and then lose a little time off. It looks like half a minute lift, so he doesn't push up too far in the corner.
I don't think this game's over yet up here with the 16 and the 19 yet, but just had a note passed to me by the guys down in the production hauler down here. I believe the 19 car is all the way from France.
Wow.
That's going to be Tony Rapusard. I hope I'm saying that name right. I'm sure we'll be corrected later on after the race. But for right now, Cowboy, your name is Tony Rapusard in the 19 machine here at Michigan Speedway. 8th position inside the top 10. Good job of racing for him tonight. 120 laps in the books. We got 30 more to go here at Michigan. So, Dakota, I'll tell you what, I'm just waiting for these guys up here in front. Hudson, Carvalho, Daly, and the whole bunch up here. They're just kind of cruising here, autopilot, cruise control. So I got to think that they're going to wait till about maybe 10, 5 to go before they cut the ponies loose and get to racing.
Yeah, they also want to make sure they can make it on fuel. That's one of the things that we've been watching here and monitoring is the fuel, how far they can go on fuel, and how much of a chance they have of making it to the end from here. And right now, the guys that don't have a good chance of making it on fuel will be the guys that have been battling, like the 16 and the 19. Those guys going at it, they're burning up a lot of fuel. They're probably using a lot more throttle. They're getting out of the draft, getting in the draft, changing exactly what's going around the car, changing track conditions, conditions around them. They're probably not looking too great on fuel mileage. If they were going to be a little short, it probably just got a lot bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, these guys just biding their time up here in the front, but the action still continues in behind them back here as these guys are looking for everything they can get before this thing is over with. 122 laps in the books here. And let's take it back to Tom Moustakis now. Earlier, Dakota, he was running up here in the top 10, even had a shot at the top 5, but Moustakis having some handling issues. All the way back here, 17th position, that 13 car. Moustakis in big trouble as he's just absolutely going backwards, falling off to about almost 5.5 seconds behind the leaders.
And caution is out. He doesn't need a caution, or he doesn't have to worry about that now, because the caution is out for the 31 car of Jason Patterson, 13th position, lap 123. I believe this is going into, I want to say, turn number 1. It is turn number 1. He just looks at the 31. There's a big checkup. The 24 in front of him, and David Comstock, goes back up to the 31. The 31 runs into the back of him, so spinning both cars around, basically. The 38 of Baldwin had nowhere else to go, and so he gets into the back of the 31, spinning the 31 around. So just a big checkup, and there will be 3 or 4 cars turning around in just that little incident, with one car actually going through the grass trying to miss the incident with not really much room anywhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a second look here and see what that checkup was all about. I don't see anything unusual here, but unfortunately, it is what it is.
And, you know, it could be just something as simple as somebody, you know, changing their line a little bit, lifting a little earlier to save fuel, clutching, somebody missing the line. Anything like that can just, you know, mess something up. Barely touching the brake pedal for some reason, by accident even. These guys can, you know, they brake and lift with 2 feet, so unless their left foot's off the brake, there's a good chance that they could, you know, drag the brake a little bit by accident and slow themselves down. But right now, final pit stop of the night, I do believe, because we're working lap 124. They can definitely make it from here, and they're coming down. Tyler Hudson is leading the way with Jason Karlovich on his tail. Byron Daly in 3rd. Chad Lawton came down 4th, and Thomas Davis came down 5th, JD.
You bet. I'll tell you what, bump drafting down pit road here is the 4 machine. He's going to pull into his pit box. He occupies that number 1 space up here, and we'll keep an eye on that truck. But in the meantime, Chad Lawton back here in that number 3 machine. I'll tell you what, that's going to be a battle to the finish up here between these 2 guys before the night is over. 25 laps to go here at Michigan. It'll be less than that when we take the green flag. But looks like the leaders, Tyler Hudson, Jason Carr, is down and out on their way out of pit road. But 41 is going to beat him off the pit road up here. That's going to be Andrew Bochutter.
Yeah, 4 tires for the leaders, but a lot of 2 tires for some of these other guys will shake things up here.
You know, and again, I don't know, 25 laps left here at Michigan, guys. I don't know what 25, 2 tires is going to do with 25s to go here. I don't know that I would have risked it. Like I said, I'm a huge Mark Martin fan, so it would have been 4 tires and fuel for me. But I'll tell you what, pit stops have been completed. Everybody on their way out. Going to line it back up again. Tyler Hudson, Jason Carvillage, Byron Daly, your top 3 up here. Let's go ahead and step away. Take a commercial break. You're watching live, ETV Live. When we come back, we'll go through the list in the chat room and say howdy to everybody, so don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Landon Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over to Wayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it in the wall. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in 2nd. You know, and we got 1 car on the bottom of the 10 car.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
you're a serious online racing enthusiast, you need Derek Spear Design, maker of high-quality, custom-built, and 50 caliber strong simulation racing products like button boxes, shifter pedals, component parts, and more. The advantage a championship sim racing driver needs. Rated 10 out of 10 by Inside Sim Racing TV. Check out his line of top-shelf sim racing products, reasonably priced at DerekSpearDesigns.com, and buckle in for a no-nonsense ride. DerekSpearDesigns.com today, cowboy. And we are back live here at Michigan Speedway. Of course, this is the March on Michigan 300, sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV. Before we do anything else, there's a young man out there that I got to give a huge shout out. Now, this kid, he comes around, hangs around the ETV Live offices all the time. Sometimes we give him a broom and a dustpan and helps clean up around here a little bit. Dalton England in the house. I'll tell you what, Dalton watching the race here tonight. Watched a race that he was in last night. Now, this kid is 12 years old, top 10 runner in a race at Iowa last night. Now, he was duking it out with some of the top names in racing. But I'll tell you what, that kid was holding his own from what we saw. We were doing a little bit of testing last night. So a big shout out to Dalton England, a good little buddy of ETV Live. But let's get back over to the chat room here for a minute. Cowboy Killer, this is the first time he's tuned in for an ETV Live broadcast. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, we do it 5 nights a week, so have at it. etv-eplay.net. Pick a night and join us. Of course, we're going to be on hiatus on Monday night with the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series. They're taking a day off just like the big boys, but you can come back on Tuesday night. Jerry Rule brings back team racing, the ETV Live HD Radio Network team racing. And I tell you what, you haven't seen racing until you've seen that team racing stuff. And on Wednesday nights, I believe we're wrapping up the short track stuff. Now, if you missed it, it won't be back until a few more seasons. But Maritime iRacing League Dakota, I'll tell you what, some short track, late model stuff, just like the down-home country fight stuff you see at the home tracks. And then on Thursday night, back in the saddle again with Real Sim Racing Asphalt a Series, a nationwide car sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV. That all happens at 9:30. And on Friday night, we did the All-Star race for him last night, Cowboy, and I'll tell you what, that was the first time back in the booth after a long retirement. But Dakota and I called the race, the Super Speedway Cup Series, 9:45 on Friday night. It's Corn Dog and Corona night, Cowboy, so get them fired up and get them going. Getting ready to get things going back here again. Jason Carveledge and Tyler Hudson picking up the green flag here at Michigan, guys, already. So I tell you what, the race is on.
Definitely is, and it looks like Karlovich holding the lead over Tyler Hudson, but not for long. Looks like Karlovich wiggled a little bit. Here comes Tyler Hudson with a huge run to the inside, side by side. Hudson down the apron. It looks like Karlovich moving up next to the wall. Here comes Hudson. Huge run on the inside. Looks like Hudson might have the advantage going through the corner, but here comes Karlovich down the inside, going through turns 1 and 2 to the center. He is now down to the bottom. He's going to get the seam, could get a little sideways here or not. He's coming with a huge run. He's going to pull the crossover. Looks like he's coming back on the inside of the one of Tyler Hudson.
And the in 8th position back here, the 12 car of Thomas Davis. I told you, took it 3 wide, managed to gain a couple of positions, move him up a couple of notches. And back of him is the guy we've been talking about with E.J. O'Rourke, 6th position, that 19 machine of Tony Rapusard. And I'll tell you what, I don't know where E.J. is right now. We'll have to look down the list. Oh, E.J. back in 12th position, so he's lost a couple of positions here, guys, but trying to duke it out in 12th back here. Got the 35 machine up on the outside. And now we're going 3 wide up to the front, Cowboys. So I'll tell you what, game on here at Michigan.
We were 2 by 2. It was a pretty good battle, and then we had almost contact, and we had just a lot of shaking up here. And how about Dustin Montgomery in a 5? He's stuck in this battle. He's got with a lot of huge run. It looks like he's in the right place, the bottom lane, as he's now following the 3 of Chad Lawton underneath Tyler Hudson.
I'll tell you what, they're starting to squeeze him down here coming off of turn 4. Now we're starting to get racing. Maybe we should have started the broadcast here about lap 130 tonight. But I'll tell you what, they are absolutely getting after it now. Cut them ponies loose, Cowboy. Up in front of Thomas Davis, you've got Dustin Montgomery. 4th position up here, Cowboys. The 1 machine of Tyler Hudson on the outside, trying to hang on to everything he's got up there. Has no help. The 2 car of Byron Daly back here in 6th position. Can't seem to get to the bumper up there and give him a hand with a little bit of draft. But I'll tell you what, these guys are absolutely slicing and dicing up here in the front of the pack. 131 laps in the books here, Dakota.
Hudson used the draft. He ran down the 4 of Karlovich, and then he went to the inside past Karlovich in one corner. Karlovich now 3 wide back behind him. And it looks like Chad Lawton looking underneath Hudson for the lead. Now here comes Dustin Montgomery looking in the middle. We're going to be 3 wide again. We're 3 wide, 2 rows deep.
Byron Daly in the middle here, back here in 6th position, 3 wide at what would be the tri-oval at any other track. But I'll tell you what, that's some good action for the fans here at Michigan. If you're seated right there at the start-finish line, I'll tell you, Byron Daly in that 2 machine in the 2 car here, trying to make everything work here. Go to the outside, to the inside here, the 4 car of Jason Carlin started on the pole here, slipping back a couple of notches. 4th position back here, guys, as they try to duke it out. The 2 car comes sliding on down off of turn 4 next to the 4 car. I'll tell you what, they are absolutely cutting it loose up here on the front row. It ain't over yet, Cowboy.
Dustin Montgomery to the lead. Chad Lawton in 2nd. Here comes the 4 of Jason Karlovich underneath the 12 of Thomas Davis. And they're still 2 wide behind them. And how about Tyler Hudson and Byron Daly going at it? Looks like Hudson will beat Daly. And up front, the 12 with Thomas Davis will have a huge run over the 4 of Jason Karlovich. Looks like Hudson coming to the aid of Karlovich. Is going to try to keep him side by side heading through 3 and 4. It should be Karlovich with the run. It looks like up front, Chad Lawton still hanging on the bumper at Dustin Montgomery.
Oh, we got a wreck coming off of turn 3 here, guys. Turn 4. I believe the caution's got to come out here. Let's see if I can catch it. I just caught it. It looks like the 13th car involved up there on the top.
That's right in the 20 and the 13 of Tom Bistakis. It starts with the 13 and the 35. So Tom Bistakis and I want to say that is Scott Simley.
Yeah, I just happened to catch that out of the corner of my eye, and I'll tell you what, it's going to start right up here in the front with just in front of Scott Smiley. But you're absolutely right, Thomas Stakis in that 13 machine who was fighting an ill-handling truck and worked his way back up inside the top 10. Looks like he gets tagged. I think he got tagged by the 35 truck coming off of turn 3, guys, just in the center of turns 3 and 4 here, and goes for an E-ticket ride here. And that's going to believe, I believe that's going to be the 6th caution here tonight at Michigan.
Yeah, it looks like Tom might have slowed up a little bit. He had a lot of drafting help. He was getting pushed into the corner. He had to check up for somebody in front of him, and then the 35 just had a lot of momentum, nowhere to go with it. And then when Tom gets loose because he got bumped, he looks like he lifts off the gas pedal, gets hit again, and then has to lock up the brakes after he's hit once again, and that would catch up a few cars in the incident right there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, now here's a replay worth looking at, all right? Go all the way up to about, let's call it 7th position up here with Tony Repoussard. Watch as they approach pit road here, and you can see them all, the leaders. They take the dive down towards pit road, and then at the last minute miss that cone, dive back up on the track. I'll tell you what, psychology playing its part here at Michigan as well, Dakota.
Definitely here. So we're working lap 135. I don't believe we'll have any takers on pit road here. And we have just about 15 laps remaining, JD.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, this is when the action really starts to take place, so we're gearing up for that. In the meantime, I'll tell you what, let's do another one for Inside Sim Racing, sponsoring the race here at Michigan tonight. And they also sponsor the Thursday night Real Sim Racing Series, Inside Sim Racing, your first and best choice for all the news and reviews in online motorsports. Join Darren Ganji and Sean Cole for the latest and greatest in product reviews, simulation auto racing games for PCs and the Xbox crowd. From steering wheels to full-size racing rigs, Cowboy, updates on most popular racing games, and a whole lot more. The yellow pages of online racing, Inside Sim Racing TV has it all. You can see him at isrtv.com.
Definitely here. And also want to mention about Derek Spear Designs, because they're sponsoring in part with Inside Sim Racing of the Thursday night RSR Asphalt Assault Series. Derek Spear Designs manufactures top-shelf simulation racing components such as pedals, shifters, button boxes, and more, reasonably priced. This is the kind of gear a championship sim race driver needs. Bulletproof and boost, stopping strong. See his gear at DerekSpearDesigns.com.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, Justin Rottenberry over there, he wants to know what's going on with the top 10 up here. Well, let's run down the list for you. Dustin Montgomery, he's holding down the top position up here in the number 1 slot. Chad Lawton in behind. Jason Carblidge, he'll be restarting in 3rd position with Thomas Davis on the outside in the number 4 machine. Tyler Hudson, He's been doing an awesome job here tonight, too. He'll be restarting in 5th position. Byron Daly, who's doing an awesome job all night long here. Byron Daly, he'll be restarting in 6th position. 7th belongs to the 19 of Tony Rapusort. Now, we were watching the 19 and the 16 going out of here a while back. E.J. O'Rourke, unfortunately, all the way back to 14th position. In 7th, or in the 8th position, rather, 28 machine of Shelvin Johnson. Starting 9th will be Andre Bochetter. I hope I'm saying that right. And you know what? Pardon us for pronouncing these last names incorrectly. And then your top 10 here on the restart is going to be Alex Warren. He's in that number 10 machine in 10th position. So there you go, Justin.
And how about that 41 is actually a DWC driver for road. So, I mean, he's basically a pro road driver here on the iRacing service.
A pro, is he in the wrong place?
I'm kind of wondering. I wouldn't say so because he's sitting in 9th position.
I'll tell you what, he's doing an awesome job here tonight. That's Andre Bochetter in that 41 machine. But I understand we've got there's actually a couple of foreigners here. We were told that one of them was here all the way from France here tonight, guys. So I tell you, they do come from all over the place.
They do, and I think it was somebody racing up front. It was the guy that was racing E.J. O'Rourke. He was from France. I remember getting that note passed to us here.
You bet. And I think Electric and probably going to go off on the pace cars. We approach the start-finish line. We'll have one to go, come back around, catch that green flag again. Hopefully we can take this thing all the way to the end and let's start winding down here. Everybody seems to be enjoying the show over there in the chat room. Let's run down the list, call out their names here. A. Larson, Billy Bob, Blade Witt in the house, Breaks 2 Brooks, Cameron Higgins in the house, Cowboy Killer, the Dwayne Vincent in the house. Give a big shout out to Dwayne Vincent. I know that guy. Eric, ETV Dalton. That's going to be Dalton, England. Of course, Fear 2234, whatever that is. Frederick, I'm not going to try your last name, Cowboy. G Unit Grumpy. Guest 356, 8010, and 9424. You know, you could have used your real name. Dylan Tyler in the house, or Taylor, Jay Crawford, Joe J, Justin Rottenberry. Hope I can get all these done before we get to the start-finish line. Lek, Lucasot. Come on, dude. I mean, come on. Bob, B-O-B. Just log in with your real name. That would have worked. Mickey in the house. Renegade Rick. Schultz, let's see, Skins Motorsports, something along that line. Slick Rick. Will Barnes, all these guys that tuned in and watching, all logged in the chat room over there. Hope you guys enjoying the show.
I recognize one of those names to be Jared Crawford, Jake Crawford. Probably got some teammates up here up front. Definitely probably cheering them on as they're in a pretty good spot. I know a lot of these guys have been working together. Would probably include Dustin Montgomery, Chad Lott, and Jason Karlovich for sure. This is the top 3 runners.
Michael Hunt just joining us here tonight too, guys. And tell you what, coming off turn 4 here, pace car going to take that dive down pit road. Here we go, saddle up. Dustin Montgomery going to get off to an early lead here as he jumps to start here with the 3 car on the outside. A little late on the throttle for Chad Lott and Cowboy. But I'll tell you what, it won't take long. That 4 car, Jason Carledge, who started out on the pole, 3rd position, side by side with the 3, getting the job done here at Michigan here tonight as the laps start winding down, Dakota.
13 laps remaining here at Michigan International Speedway. And it's Karlovich around Lawton, and he now looks to set his sights on the 5 with Dustin Montgomery. A huge run. They're pushing each other down the straightaway. Looks like that 3 pushing the 4. And now the 4 Karlovich come with a huge run on the 5 with Dustin Montgomery, but will he stay in line like they have for a lot of the race, or will he go like they were doing a little bit before and jump out here and try to make a move? As he gets to the bumper, we'll see exactly what happens. It looks like the 5 of Dustin Montgomery going down the line. He's trying to protect that inside, so definitely not working with his teammates here. They're trying to race each other, it looks like.
I tell you what, they're tag teaming him up here in the front as Chad Lawton jumps up to the outside. Thought he was going to follow through with, I believe that was Jason Carledge, but no dice here, Cowboys. The 3 car Chad Lawton on the bottom, looking to pull up to the bumper of Montgomery. The 4 car squeezing down, trying to cover the hole. Can't do it. Doesn't get the job done. In the meantime, in the back, the 2 car, Byron Daly. I tell you what, using the draft off the 12 machine here about a lap ago, he's putting something together. But Thomas Davis in 5th position, trying to fight back down here on the bottom. Going to use that apron line down here. 3 wide up in the front for the lead. I'll tell you what, they are slicing and dicing. Montgomery to the on the 5 machine up here, trying to keep the position. Jason Carveridge, Chad Lawton. I'll tell you what, guys, this is the most fantastic finish to a race that they spin each other out. Big wreck on the front row up here, Cowboys. A 3-car involved. Byron Daly involved. Thomas Davis sneaks through. Rolling it back here. Taking another look here. I'll tell you what, 3 wide, going through the turn here, the 2-car in the middle of that sandwich, and it looks like Chad Lawton is going to get a little bit loose coming off the turn, goes up into, I believe that's the 2-car here of Byron Daly, and it's game over, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, this is a huge upset here on the front row.
And caution just not coming out, so there must be another incident on the track. Not figured out where it would be, and I think we found it. I see a lot of cars on the apron here. Not quite sure exactly where it started with, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, but still looking at this one up here in the front with the leaders up here. Now, Thomas Davis is going to get out of that one easily.
Oh, I found it. I believe it was a bit of netcode here, but it would be the 36 car who was in 5th position on lap 141. I want to say he was just coming into 3, maybe this is 3 and 4, and gets turned around. Looks like a lot of netcode will turn his 36 car around. He wants to be wide, though.
All right, they seem to be happening all over the track here tonight, guys, and it absolutely does matter to find that one. And it does look like netcode. The 2 cars don't even touch each other. In fact, it looks like there's about 1.5 feet of space between the 36 and the 41. But unfortunately, they're going to get messed up in that caution as well. But more importantly, up on the front row, Cowboy, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a new game on the restart.
Yeah, and you want to run through the top 10 now with everything that's happened. Dustin Montgomery, Thomas Davis, Tyler Hudson, Antonio Rapuser, Alex Warren, Andre Etcher, but I cannot pronounce his name, Bocher, we'll go with that. David Comstock, Scott Simley, Alan Cryer, E.J. O'Rourke, the top 10.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, how's that, Cowboy Killer? You're sitting over there in the chat room. You want to know what your top 10 was? It's changed with 143 laps in the books here, so definitely on a short side of things. 7 to go here. It'll be less than that when we pick up the green flag, so anything can happen here at Michigan, as we've seen all night long here. And, of course, the March on Michigan race sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV, Darren Ganji and his crew, Sean Cole and the guys. I'll tell you what, putting on a fantastic show here tonight. A lot of giveaways. Of course, we talked about that Thrustmaster THH shifter. It's got H-pattern or the sequential built-ins for the 2 different driving styles, whether you're an oval racer like we're doing here tonight or road racing. Fully adjustable, and then 3 $50 certificates with the iRacing credits. Thank you to iRacing for that. And then 2 of the Tamiya models. And I'll tell you, if you haven't seen their website, TamiyaUSA.com, this is some pretty good looking stuff. You're talking about some precision-built model cars, even radio-controlled stuff, you know, military aircraft, ground support vehicles, conventional cars, race cars, you name it, they got it. 2 of the IGP manager licenses, 2 SimVibe experience licenses. Now, those are those things you attach to your butt kicker, boot buster, or whatever you call it, butt busters and that kind of thing. But it's a like a vibration deal where you can get the feel of the cockpit that you know simulates the vibration that you'd feel in the cockpit of a race car. Then, of course, the dashboard. One of the dashboard FL2 shifter adapter. I mean, a lot of this stuff is so popular amongst these car drivers here. You know, they're getting, you know, back in my day, there was no such thing as button boxes and shifters and all this kind of good stuff. But I'll tell you what, they're just getting better and better and better with this simulation racing stuff all the time, Dakota.
Definitely are, and again, all this is happening because of the sponsorship from Inside Sim Racing for this event. Catch them at isrtv.com. And pacing here, lap 144 of 150 at Michigan. 7 laps remaining here. Guess we'll go ahead and talk to you about ETV Live Radio, supported by the HTA Radio Network. It features classic rock every hour of every day. You can also catch live events such as race day broadcasts right from the booth and listen to engaging talk shows every week. ETV Live Radio featured in the sports section of iTunes. Get the mobile app, tunein.com, and look for us in the Windows Media Guide. ETV Live Radio all are on the HTA Radio Network. And I do believe we have a lot of shows openings now. If you have a radio show or have one in mind, you don't have a show, even if you don't, we can find you one. We do have openings to, I believe, fill those shows in those time spots. Just get a hold of JD Webb once again, and we'll get you on the air. Weekly radio shows every other week, whatever you want to do. We do have that kind of stuff. I think we'll be having a few new shows coming up here in the foreseeable future. We'll just put it that way. But up front, Dustin Montgomery leading the way. And I'll just go ahead. Why don't we go ahead and we talked about your top 10. Why don't we go through 11th through 20th? It's Kyle Wicca, Nick Nevin, Jeremy Nyland, Sheldon Johnson, Greg Hooks, Eugene Mozganoff, Marco Pentonen, Dalton Baldwin, Michael Abrams, and Norbert Solzer.
All right. Okay. That's about enough out of the production hauler down there. All right. You know what? I wish we could open up the mics between us and the production hauler down there, John Westling, pushing the buttons on the cameras here tonight. And I'll tell you what, Cowboy, there is no better. We used to call him Bad Boy. Magic Fingers is what everybody around the office calls him. I tell you, he just works the magic on these cameras here, on these broadcasts. Been doing it for quite some time. Of course, ETV Live started in 2008, and several 100,000 hours later, and over 700, close to 700 broadcasts later, Dakota. I tell you what, there is no better. ETV Live, etv-eplay.net, and
6 laps remaining here. We have 5 at the line, and we are going green flag racing this time, so 5-lap shootout, JD.
You've got 5-lap shootout here, and I'll tell you what, it'll be game over. But Dustin Montgomery, a whole new setup here in the front, guy. Dustin Montgomery, Thomas Davis, Tyler Hudson, Tony Rapusard. Oh, I'm saying the name right. Alex Warren. These guys are your top 5 up here. But I'll tell you what, E.J. O'Rourke finally managed to make it up here in the top 10. He'll be starting on the outside in 10th position as we come off of turn 4. And I'll tell you what, that pace car driver up there probably itching to get the hell out of the way. Dustin Montgomery is going to lay the throttle down. I'll tell you what, you talk about cutting them ponies loose, open up the floodgates, Cowboy. They're getting ready to come your way. Stand by.
And here we go. Pace car dives off. Dustin Montgomery leads him to the green flag. Huge jump, but he's not alone. He's got help from the 12. Thomas Davis staying right on his outside. They leave. I want to say that's the 1 car of Tyler Hudson in the dust con, and he's got company from the 19 who's still looking on the outside, but it's Tyler Hudson in 3rd, clearing the 19. Up front, Dustin Montgomery clears the 12 with Thomas Davies, and now we're single file all the way back to your 4th place car in line, who's the 19 outside of, I do want to say that is the 10 of Alex Warren.
You bet. Something happening up here in the front between the 5 and the had a 12 machine up here. They just took a dive to the bottom. I got a funny feeling the 5 car trying to cover that bottom lane down there, trying to make that machine of his as wide as possible. Dustin Montgomery's got it. Thomas Davis wants it, but so does Tyler Hudson and Tony Rapusard. I got to give a huge shout out to this dude, Tony Rapusard. I tell you what, the driver of that number 19 machine in 3rd position, just going after it like a madman. I tell you what, he's been coming on strong the last half of this race here tonight, guys, at Michigan. So I got a funny feeling this dude's a threat at any track.
Caution!
But caution coming out. Game over.
Caution is Eugene Mozganoff, 9 car, 14th position, lap 147. And it looks like he's going into, I want to say this is turn number 1. Going into turn number 1, looks like the 33 makes contact with the 22 in front of him. The 33 saves it. The 9 runs into the back of him, and no trouble for the 33 there, but the 9 ends up turning the car around repeatedly in the front stretch. That will end the race under caution. Dustin Montgomery will be your winner. Thomas Davis in 2nd, and Tony Rapusard in 3rd position.
Yeah, and unfortunately the 38 machine of Dalton Baldwin, he gets a piece of that 9 car too, and suffers quite a bit of damage, and then gets pounded again by the number 40 machine. So a gaggle of cars back here about 20th position or so, as the sheet metal just starts piling up. But unofficial results are going to put Dustin Montgomery on the front row up here with Thomas Davis, Tony Rapusard, your top 3, as the caution comes out here. And I believe with only 3 laps to go, Dakota, the race officials may call this race. It may be official. We'll find out here in a couple of laps.
I do want to say this race will be over here. I think they would, if they were to get a 1-lap shootout, this would have to be 2 to green. They would have to double up when they cross the line this time. And so if they don't double up this time, I want to say that this race is over, JD.
You bet. We're keeping an eye on the lights on top of that pace car, and I can see him huddled up there on the top of a flag stand. I got a funny feeling this may be over with tonight here at Michigan. But what an incredible finish, even at that. I'll tell you what, that last caution before this one really upset guys that were in the front of the pack, like Jason Carvalage, Chad Lawton, Richard Doucette. All these guys are duking it out up here, but it was a whole new game after the caution before this last one. The pace lights do stay on top of the pace car, so it is game over. Official results are going to put Dustin Montgomery as your winner here tonight. Thomas Davis, he'll be ticking up the second place trophy with the 19 machine in 3rd position. Tony Rapusard, what a show here at Michigan.
Definitely, and pace car light's still on. There's no more racing, JD. It's officially over. Hearing from race control.
You bet, and we're going to see if we can get Darren Ganji back in the booth here. I'm going to send a runner downstairs and see if we can't get him up in the booth. But I'll tell you what, let's go down the list of sponsors and the gift givers here tonight. Again, big thanks to Thrustmaster, the TH8 shifter that they have donated for the festivities here tonight. And of course, iRacing, without them we wouldn't be here anyway, but iRacing being very generous, offering $50, 3 $50 certificates and iRacing credits. Of course, the Tamiya models, a couple of them going to a couple of random winners here tonight. And the IGP manager licenses, along with the Sim Vibe experience, compare those going out for each one. And then the basher board, the FL2 shifter adapter. Big thanks to all these guys who sponsored the race here tonight. Of course, a huge shout out to Darren Ganji, Inside Sim Racing, for putting this whole thing together. 150 laps. Hey, what better way to spend a Saturday afternoon than right here at Michigan Speedway?
Yes, Dustin Montgomery crosses the line for the final time here. A white flag is out, so he's just got to go around one more time, and he will officially be your winner here at Michigan International Speedway.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, we're still waiting on that runner to come back with information whether Darren can join us up here in the booth or not. But another huge shout-out I want to give is to Kyle Young. This kid anteed up here tonight. We weren't sure whether we were going to be able to do a simulcast with the second split or not, but Kyle Young coming through, working with the other side of the ETV Live house over there, recently acquired the LSR TV expansion channel, but putting on a pretty good show over there. I know Adam Gilliland joined Kyle in the booth for a short time there. Those guys were working together, bringing you the second split action here live on ETV Live as well. So a big shout out to Kyle Young. But more importantly here, after 150 laps, Dustin Montgomery, we're not sure whether we're going to be able to get an interview with him or not. We'll just have to wait and see. But as the laps start to wind down to 150 in the books, Dakota, it is game over here at Michigan.
Yes, sir. Looks like Dustin Montgomery just a few feet away from being your official winner here, JD.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to see if I can't get, I don't know whether Darren Ganji is available or not. I think we still got a runner. Still trying to get in touch with Darren to get him up here in the booth.
Well, don't quite see. We couldn't get Darren on the radio, and don't quite see any of our finishers yet. We'll give them probably about a few seconds to get up here.
Yeah, we'll keep the cameras on Dustin Montgomery's vehicle here, that number 5 machine, as he works his way back down the backstretch. Look for a burnout from him coming, as he may be celebrating his win here at Michigan Speedway. Don't know whether they're going to be able to work themselves back up to the hall here for an interview, but I'll tell you what, it was a lot of fun here, guys, and the old cowboy crawling out of retirement up into the booth. Another night of fun. Of course, last night was the beta test. I called the race with Dakota last night with the Super Speedway guys. That was a lot of fun. But I kind of missed this, Dakota, as we watched Dustin Montgomery burn what's left of his tires off there on the start-finish line here at Michigan. But I did have a ton of fun, and I remember back when I was broadcasting here a couple years ago with John, and it was a lot of fun up here doing this. But perhaps you and I can get together again someday and back in the saddle again and call one of these races. But I had a lot of fun as Dustin pulls over for his Kodak moment in Victory Circle.
And I'll tell you what, Justin's crew marching all over Michigan, because this is in March on Michigan 300. It was presented by Inside Sim Racing, and Dustin Montgomery, your official winner. And waiting, we're still waiting to see if we can get Dustin on the radio. It doesn't appear that it's going to happen here, though, JD.
You bet, and I'll tell you what, awesome day here at Michigan International Speedway. We're going to go ahead and close the show out here tonight. But I'll tell you what, lots of racing coming your way. If you haven't seen us before, check it out, etv-eplay.net. That's where you're at right now if you're tuning in. Take a look at the calendar. We're broadcasting 5 nights a week. Monday nights at 9:30, the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series. They will be off this coming Monday night, however. Back in the saddle again on Tuesday night. Now, if you enjoy team racing, you got to check this one out. The ETV Live Team Series Racing, sponsored by HD Radio Network. That happens at 9 p.m. on Tuesdays, live here on ETV Live. And then on Wednesday nights, the Maritime iRacing League. Now, if you're a big fan like I am of down-home, country-fied, short-track, late-model type stuff, then you need to tune in Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock for the Maritime iRacing short track. I believe we're approaching the end of their season here. But Thursday nights, 9:30 p.m., Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series. This is Nationwide Cars. That one's sponsored by Inside Sim Racing TV, Darren Ganji and Sean Cole and the boys. Then on Friday nights, the Super Speedway Cup Series. We broadcasted their All-Star race here last night. But tell you what, Super Speedway Cup Series signing back up again for Season 4 here at ETV Live. So a lot more action. Corn Dog and Corona Night, as I like to call it, Friday nights here on ETV Live. And, of course, don't miss the ETV Live Radio, broadcasting live race day events along with 24/7 rock and roll, classic rock and roll. So rock your brains out on the radio station as well. So I'll tell you what, boys, for Dakota Ehrman up here in the booth with me, John Wessling, magic fingers pushing all the buttons down there in the production hauler, Kyle Young and Laura Lawson over there in the second split action covering that series for us. And, of course, Adam Gillen for joining us earlier, helping Kyle cover the second split, and for Darren Ganji and all the guys at Inside Sim Racing TV. A huge thank you, big shout out. That's it for us here at Michigan Speedway, so we'll see you next time.